Nosotros Trabajamos Duro.
Martial arts movie. And basically, I did it as a favor because you're filling in for me because I just had knee surgery. Oh. So you're taking my spot. Okay, that's the only reason I did it.
Yeah.
And this guy said that, wow, he's been working on this movie for 3 years. I said, seriously? 3 years? And he showed me the stuff that was supposed to be, he was supposed to be doing. I said, really? He wants you to do all this shit for no pay? Seriously? And I had to pull the sword, do katana, stuff like this, and do flipping. And one reason they called me because I could, I was a gymnast and I could still do it. So I'm limited to what I can do anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm old, so hey. I can still do cartwheels and stuff like that and all kinds of stuff. And then he choreographed it, and then we had a schedule. He said, it's going to be tomorrow, so I'll come pick you up. And then about 9 o'clock, so I got up early, waited for him. He called back and said, he can't do it today. So what about he's planning to do it in a couple of days, like a Thursday or a Friday. I said, yeah, I can do that. And then he called again. Then I wasn't feeling good when I got up that day. I went, He said, okay, I'll tell him. And I never heard from him, so I guess he wound up doing it himself.
Oh, really? Who knows? Like, how many hours was he wanting you?
About 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. It was like jumping around. I had to. He had to. He was on doing a fight scene. He had to jump off something like this. It's about like 6 feet. He said, I can't do it. I just had knee surgery. I'm not supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, I get you. Nah.
But other than that, I haven't done nothing. I'm just working. I'm working at the Spirit Halloween store right now.
Oh,
I do it every year. God, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
Damn, it was fun being there.
Nah, I believe it. Like, I was actually kind of considering that. But real quick, oye, bienvenidos, nosotros trabajamos duro. Oye, so eres aquí, Jon Koyasako. We'll bring it back into English and all that, but that's how we start off the podcast. But as you heard, Jon's done some movies, stunts and all that. So real quick, I'll ask you, but I'll let the audience know. I got to know Jon on the set of a movie, or not movie, but on a play, Dark Road, where you were the choreographer. Not really a fight choreographer.
Dark Road, that was the name of it. I still have the pictures in my phone too.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, you were the commandant.
Yeah,
it was a while back.
Yeah, I had
those
to play
people that are in LA now.
Oh, really? All of them did?
They all, Angela and
I know Angela did.
And I think Cheryl too.
Oh, okay. Well, I know they were kind of in a family thing, so.
Because Cheryl recently got divorced. Cheryl actually got divorced during that production.
Oh, really?
Or before that, so she actually went with Angela, and I think they started Red Bench down there.
Really? Okay.
So I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything or whatever, but some stuff comes and goes. But real quick, so how did you end up getting into doing stunts and all that?
I was a martial artist, but I was always into acting because in high school, I started acting then. I did a mass audition.
Yeah.
And we all got the part. We did a mass audition and said, let's all try out for Grease. So we did a big mass audition, just put character we want to play. So we got it, and it was a lot of fun. And then after that, I just kept doing it. So basically, you might say I'm kind of trained in musical theater.
Oh, all right.
I did that for like 20-something years. And
you said you'd already been doing martial arts.
Yeah, I was already doing martial arts. Yeah.
Okay.
I was doing martial arts since I was a kid. I've been pretty much all my life. I got my black belt at 15.
Oh, okay, far
And then kind of evolved from there. And then then I started gymnastics. How I got into that, I can't remember. But I know what it was because. If you're in musical theater and you're a dancer, some of the choreographers were saying that tumbling was starting to come in back then. So I said, well, I know so a lot of these dancers can do gymnastics and like the back handsprings and the back flips. Can you do this? Yeah, I'm a gymnast.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I started doing, I was already doing gymnastics. I started doing gymnastics at that time and then found out that I was actually pretty good at it. And this place I started training, they had, adult gymnastics there. And then as I started progressing, and then the owners of the club said, hey, we're interested in, would you like to coach for us?
Yeah.
So I wound up coaching, which actually cut down on my training time. So I was training and coaching was kind of going like this. And then that evolved, coaching evolved into a lot of coaching. You know, I lived out of my suitcase because we're always traveling around.
Yeah.
So, you know, martial arts used to be like this, and then producing gymnastics went like this, and then martial arts was going like this. Like that. And then I stopped martial arts I've been doing martial arts for over 50 years.
Okay.
And then martial arts, I got out of that for like 2 or 3. I didn't do anything in martial arts because the gymnastics was taking all the damn time. And then, but I still did it. You know, I go home and, you know, do stuff like that, throw some kicks, do some katas. I always kept it up. Not in a gym setting though, but I always did stuff at home because, you know, there were some of the musicals in there had fight scenes. Like West Side Story had fight scenes, and I told them that I do martial arts, and they said, well, can you choreograph the fight scenes? Okay, yeah, I can do that. So now, I know, it's 1950s, not many people knew martial arts, so you don't want it too martial artsy. They go, exactly, so just make it kind of like street fight. Just basically show them basic punches and teach people how to fall so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
We did have injuries. All in rehearsal, thank God. When I got my finger stepped on, broke 2 fingers, like that. One guy got punched in the mouth because he missed his mark. So instead of stepping back even before, there. But during the performance, it was injury free, which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
But it was a lot of fun. And then I thought about doing acting as a career, but I didn't want to go to LA because my base is here in SAC. All of my contacts and friends are here. They have contacts over there. And now the industry has changed so much.
Right.
Where you don't have to go to LA, you can stay here. So that's what I'm doing, and that led to independent projects. I like doing independent projects. They're a lot of fun. I don't, being an A-list actor, I think would be nice. Mm-hmm. But walking around the street, I think in public would be kind of tough. You don't get privacy. You go to a restaurant with a family or something, and people go like this with a pen and a paper, and
yeah.
But I'm having fun the way it is, I'm gonna retire soon, so I'm 62 now, so I got my retirement benefits that are supposed to be due to me, so I can have a lot more fun doing that. I can't do gymnastics as much anymore. I probably would have still kept doing gymnastics, except my body told me I couldn't do it anymore. It started to hurt too much. My back started to hurt.
Oh man.
Hips started to hurt. Ankles started to hurt. I got good knees. I never blew out my knees. My knees are good. My ankles, my arms don't straighten out anymore because of gymnastics. My shoulders.
Is it just like using it too much from breaking it, or what happened?
It's just injuries. I got bad elbows. Is one of the reasons because when you're swinging on the high bar.
Yeah, all the tension and all that.
Yeah, when you see them do giant swings like this, and the bottom of the giant swing, you actually do over 200 miles an hour swinging through the bottom, which shoots you back up to the handstand position.
Oh, damn.
And then you're just yanking your shoulders out, because when you do the dismount, you want to be away from the bar, so you actually, on the bottom of the swing, you're actually throwing the bar away from you.
Gotcha.
So you don't hit the bar. Every once in a while you do hit the bar. So you get to a certain age, I got to like 30 something, and my body was just starting to say, no more, no more.
I follow.
So I don't do that anymore, and a lot of my friends that did gymnastics, don't do it anymore. And we all coached together, but after that, we didn't want to coach anymore because it just take too much time. But the martial arts is something different. Martial arts, it doesn't matter how old you are. I have a friend, one of my instructors I trained with in LA about 3 years ago, he had a 75-year-old grandma that got her black belt.
Oh, okay, damn.
So martial arts, we don't discriminate on age.
What specific martial art was she taking, do you know?
Kempo.
No, I'm not familiar with that one. What's that?
Kempo is basically kicking somebody's ass in a phone booth. It's known for their self-defense techniques.
Gotcha.
That's what they specialize in. When you test for rank in Kempo, we test you on self-defense techniques, and we have various self-defense techniques. At the beginning, we have a club attack, how to disarm a club. Then as you progress in rank, then you got knife disarms, and then once you start getting to brown belt level, you got gun disarms.
Oh, okay, damn.
But we recommend not to do the gun disarm unless you have to, because in order for a gun disarm to work, obviously if I'm sitting like this I ain't gonna be able to take the gun away from you. I'm too far.
Yeah.
But if I'm like sitting like right here, I can probably do it.
Yeah.
But so we said that's just like the last resort. And then there's Kempo has a lot of locks, chokes,
That's tight.
Yeah, breaks. We have sleeper holds. A lot of different techniques like that. Most of the kicks in Kempo are directed at our waist, are below the waist. Taekwondo is a little bit more physical for the older people because you get these kicks that go way up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Taekwondo is like heavy kicks.
Even so, some younger people have a hard time kicking way up in the cobweb area. So I mean, I didn't have any problem with that. I had natural lower body flexibility. So I still kick. I can't kick as high as I used to be able to, but I can still probably get to somebody's head if I stretched out.
Oh yeah.
But Kempo is probably a practical art. It's not a pretty art.
Right, practical over pretty though is what I'd say. Unless you're doing a kung fu movie.
Yeah, like Kempo, you can probably learn like a couple of self-defense techniques. If you walked out the door of the gym and got attacked, it'll work. You can use it. And most of those techniques in Kempo, they do work. Some of them don't, but most of them will.
I do know, like, I would like to learn Krav Maga, but Krav Maga is not so much a martial art, so much as it's more self-defense, where it's like, I'm just like here to disarm you, drop you.
Krav Maga is pretty much Kempo. That's what Krav Maga came from.
Oh, really?
It's Kempo without the kicks.
Gotcha.
So a lot of the self-defense techniques you see in Krav, is same in Kempo.
Oh, okay.
My Krav is really practical. I did Krav for a while. I taught Krav for a while.
Oh, okay, tight.
I'm going, you know what? I'm doing Kempo, man.
Huh?
I'm doing Kempo. I just ain't kicking.
I'm saying
you got the knees and then you got the elbows like this.
I'm still young. The kicks should be fun and all that.
And the Krav's got a lot of knees, and a lot of martial arts don't use knees or use elbows because they're actually weapons because the bone is sharp.
Oh,
you can actually cut. And Kempo uses a lot of elbows, a lot of knees, and things like that. And you got a lot of systems like Taekwondo when you block, assisted block, but Kempo, when you block in such a way where your block becomes a strike.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you have like a hammering block where you want to, like
you can jack someone's forearm.
Yeah, if somebody grabs you like this, you can do that and maybe hit a nerve and they'll just let go. And the arm is like this after a while, then you can just go and free to attack. So that's basically what Kempo is. If you go to YouTube and go into Larry Tatum was one of my instructors. He's all over YouTube and watch some of the self-defense techniques.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to see speed, as this guy has got hands, even slow, it's like this. God, the guy is fast. And then the one difference about Kempo is that when we train in Kempo, we actually hit each other.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it won't
not
penetrate.
Hardcore,
yeah, nothing to penetrate. Because if it penetrates, you can do damage and make contact. You want to see the reaction. Like a lot of martial arts say, it's a punch to the face, but what happens when the punch hits the face and the guy just stands there? So Kempo, if you go to the midsection with contact, obviously the body's going to go like that.
Yeah.
And obviously if you do that, it's going to, so you want to see the body reaction because not all human body reacts the same way, especially if the guy's bigger than you are. It might react it might not affect, a technique that works on an average person may not work on a huge guy.
Yeah, or someone that's used to getting hit a bunch of times and just can take it.
Yeah, so you want to do just enough just to get away and go for help.
Yeah.
And Kempo, what it is that there's the base technique. There are 24 techniques in each degree in rank, yellow, blue, whatever, in each belt, except for white belt has 10.
Oh, okay.
So basically there's 200 and something techniques. When it was first started, it used to be a 32 technique system. Try learning 32 techniques in every rank. 24 is hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you learn the base technique. The base technique is basically the technique that should disable enough so you can get out there and go for help. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't work, and when you get to brown belt, you go backwards. You learn all the techniques that you learned as a white belt all the way through brown belt. Then from brown belt, you go back to the beginning techniques and learn what we call the extension. So if the base technique doesn't work, you do the second half of the technique, which is the extension. It's a lot more brutal, and the extension should disable for you to get out. That's the same with the you know, the club attacks, the knife disarms, the gun disarms. We have gun disarms in there where you take it away and you actually take the gun and use it on him. You can beat him with it, you can shoot him with it, whatever you want to do. A knife is the same way. Take it away, then you know, you can use his knife on himself. Things like that. So it's real practical. And in today's day and age, it doesn't matter how big you are. You know, you got guys like huge 6'5" football player guys. Just everybody's vulnerable nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody's got. You don't know who's got a gun walking around out here.
Right.
Yeah, we're driving. You don't know who's got a gun in the car, so you don't want to go off and flip somebody off because you might get shot. Not like back in the day.
Right. Yeah. You never know, man.
Yeah.
Like even like back in West Virginia where I'm from, like everyone's like carrying out there. It's like not always guaranteed, but some people get pissed off easy, man. It's like you come at them, like what'd you say? You know?
Yeah, I know. Texas, everybody carries. Alaska, you can get any kind of gun. Everybody carries in Alaska, but Alaska's so much wilderness. But other than that, that's basically. I was never interested in the martial arts, and I love martial arts movies. My brother was interested. He was always doing something, you know, like that. And he kept pestering my parents. I said, "I'll take karate." I took karate. He goes, "No." I said, "Well," I said, "I would have to take karate in order for my parents to sign him up."
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I started, and I was having fun, and I'm still doing it. He's not. I'm still doing it.
Really?
I'm still not. Yeah, I'm still not.
So what? You said you weren't like interested in it. Like what? Like led you into getting into doing?
Because in order for my brother to decide to do karate, it was a package deal. I had to do it with him. Otherwise, my parents wouldn't sign him up. So I did it with him, and it turns out that we were both naturals at it.
Oh, all right.
And then we both got our black belts, and he stopped, and I kept going. So I'm a 6th degree now, so I'm still doing it. Not as much, but I'm still doing it. I went on to do stage fighting.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So I still love to do it. You know, I'm gonna do it for as long as I can till this body physically can't be able to do it anymore.
Nah, I follow.
So
it was. Well, see, when I was a kid, I did karate for a little bit. I just didn't stick with it. I think just because it was like an expensive thing to do or something after a while.
it does get expensive.
Yeah. So I mean, I know at some point now it's like I'd like to do jiu-jitsu and then Krav Maga, like I said, and then I don't know if you know Rocky Twitchell or not, but he does.
The name sounds real familiar.
He's a black belt and does stuff. I had him on the podcast, and he has a couple things that he's got published and all that. But he was like saying like, oh, you should try like Jeet Kune Do. So I'm like, I might do that, but and I'll probably start off with like.
Jeet Kune Do is Bruce Lee's system. I know.
Yeah.
I actually know an instructor who was actually certified by one of Bruce's instructors.
Oh yeah.
He's across from the executive airport in Freeport. He's in a building that's he shares a building with Frank's Meats.
Oh, okay.
So he's a good one to go to, and basically that's street fighting. And there's no katas you have to worry about, no fancy kicks. It's street fighting, just like Krav. And, and that's a lot because I still teach privately. And a lot of people that I teach, they don't give a shit about. I don't want to be a black belt. It takes a lot. It takes 3, 4, 5 years out of my life. I got that time. I want to learn something where if I walk out of your gym or whatever, if I'm teaching at my house, if I leave here, if I get attacked, I want to be able to defend myself like right now.
Yeah.
Not 5 years from now when I have my black belt. So
right.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't care about that anymore because it takes a lot of time. You know, when I started, we were kids and we had no responsibilities. But as you get older, you get more and more responsibilities. And once you become an adult, it's pretty much impossible to keep up a regular schedule.
Yeah.
You can't go train every night. You know, once you start a family, it gets even harder. You know, because you can't train everyone. Then you got to get a babysitter, things like that. Yeah, you got to take care of your kids. All of a sudden, your kids are sick, so you can't go to class regularly. Especially if you're teaching a class, same thing happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If your kids get sick, I can come in today, because my son or daughter is sick. So, but I still teach privately. I was actually teaching. In fact, the burlesque dancer that actually did Zombie Anonymous, I was teaching her for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't afford it anymore. I don't charge that much anyway. People always ask me how much do you charge. I said, like $150. I said, raise your prices. You're too cheap.
I like it when people say like raise your price, like because I'm kind of on like your level. I'm like, man, I'd rather keep it not overly cheap because to me I'm like that's affordable. I mean,
there are some martial arts instructors who own schools who do teach privately. It's 150 or 175 for a half an hour, 200 to 300 for an hour.
Oh man.
But they own a commercial school. I'm just a guy that teaches in my backyard or whatever. 150 is fine with me. $50 for half an hour, 150 for an hour, like that. People say, "Oh, it's probably too cheap." So, but you want quality instruction. You just don't want. A lot of schools nowadays are like belt factories. When you take your rank test, there's always a fee. So basically, if you pay your fee, you're gonna get your belt.
Yeah.
And one of the schools that I trained with, that I was teaching at, they do pay a fee, but if they don't pass, you don't pass. You don't get the fee back. So.
No, damn, okay. I mean, I can kind of understand that though too. It's like, okay, well, like I did everything I can teach, and it's like kind of up to you to be able to. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of get that.
Especially if they're kids, so you got to practice, and then all of a sudden they come to a test, they don't practice. And so you guys are practicing. We can tell when you come in and watching who's practicing, who's not practicing. We can tell. We've been in this business long enough to know who's practicing and who's not.
Yeah. And how's like one kind of practice on their own, for example, depending on what they're doing?
Yeah, you can practice martial arts, so you can practice everything pretty much on your own, except for maybe when it comes to the two-man sets. But you can still practice, the set that you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, okay.
If it's like a blocking set, you just don't have the guy punching at you. But you can really, like katas is the best thing to practice at home.
Oh, what's that?
The forms.
Oh, okay.
It looks like the dance, you're fighting an invisible opponent.
So almost like shadow boxing?
Pretty much, yeah. You can do that by yourself. I practice at home all the time. And Kempo has got a lot of two-man stuff, a lot of the self-defense techniques that are written. You need a we call them the dummy. Mm-hmm. You need somebody to dummy up for you to practice the techniques on. But you can do it in the air by yourself. The problem with that is you can learn it that way, but it always works.
Oh, okay.
So even once you learn it, practice it on a real person and see if it actually does work. And I play it that way.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you're interested, find a good like the Jikundo. His name is Frank Gonzalez, I think it is, on Freeport Boulevard. Look into it. Okay. That'd be great. I mean, especially doing film work. You might come into a role one day and say, "Hey, got any fighting ability?" Yeah, I do a little bit.
That was like me with that one I was saying where they had the kung fu. It's like me. I did 6 months of boxing and all that back when I was in West Virginia. But I was like, does anyone have any kind of martial arts? I was like, I got.
It'll come back to you. It's up here somewhere.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I've actually taught people on set before.
Right. Well, that was kind of like it, but it was funny because. Like we were all supposed to be like the guard for whatever, but it was funny because I was like, we all had our specific skills. It was like my character, like I definitely like just knew the boxing. Someone else knew a bunch of other stuff. Someone knew some kicks, but it was just funny because it's like, all right, let's start off with like the easier dude, 1, 2. That's just gonna be throwing punches, and the next is like kicks, and it got like crazier, but it was just funny.
Yeah, Pat Morita, who was Mr. Miyagi and. Karate Kid was actually my uncle, and
really?
Yeah, he said that.
Your uncle? No, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he said that I was with him during the first Karate Kid. I even got the Cobra Kai uniform hanging in my closet.
No shit, damn.
Hey, you want? That's
news here.
You want to work with these guys, And I was working with these guys, and so what do you want me to do? He said, make it look good. So I went out to full speed, full power.
Damn.
I said, can you slow down a little bit? I said, hey, these guys are actors. You're gonna kill them, man. So it got too dumbed down. I said, I can't do this.
These guys are actors, so
yeah, you're gonna kill them.
Now, did you make it as an extra in that at all, or did they just kind of have you like?
They just kind of had me there. Pat tried to get me into it as being on camera. I wound up with one of the uniforms though, which was good, but I was there with him because and then when he did Karate Kid 3. I think it was called The Next Karate Kid. What was the last one? The one with Hilary Swank. He actually had the premiere here in Sacramento because he actually lived in Sacramento. He actually sang with my dad's band for a while, but he was really hard to accompany because most bit singers, when they sing on the downbeat. He
Yeah.
sang on the upbeat, which is actually really hard to accompany somebody that way.
Gotcha.
So he wanted to come back to Sacramento to do the premiere. Everybody was there. Hillary Swank was here. Her husband was here. It was that century when they had the dome still, and Ethan way over here. So that was a lot of fun, you know. And I said, hey, hey Pat. I said, oh hey, you know. I said, how's your dad doing? I said, he's doing good. They were in the camps together during World War II. Pat was just a little.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah.
Little kid. So he was, you know, he's come over at Christmas a lot, stuff like that, entertain us and all. So it was a lot of fun. And Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka were probably two of the most uncoordinated guys.
Now, did any of them ever do any kind of martial arts training?
They learned it right there. They didn't do they didn't do a whole lot, but the stuff that they had to do on screen that actually showed their face when they were doing it.
Yeah.
They said that Ralph would say that you know, Billy would come to my house for like 8 hours a day. We would practice, you know, and then I'd go to Billy's house 8 hours a day. We would practice. And then we travel back and forth. 8 hours is practice and practice. And I said, we were the most uncoordinated guys. So it was a lot of fun. Martial arts. And Chuck Norris was one of my instructors.
Really? See, okay, damn, I didn't know that. Now,
I had not seen that guy in 30 years.
okay, let me ask you. Well, I'm going to get to that question too, but on Karate Kid, because I'm just a big Steve McQueen fan. Did you ever work with Steve McQueen's son at all?
I did not.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Yeah.
'Cause I figured he would know a little bit of karate since like
Steve McQueen actually trained under Bruce Lee for a while.
Yeah, no, I knew that they were. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
they were good friends and like they were. Yeah, I love Steve McQueen.
Chad was in Karate Kid. That's right. Those guys learned. Those guys learned a few months before they started. They just learned what they had to do on camera. That's about all they did.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
And the location where they filmed that was somewhere down in LA. I think it was a high school gym. It's still there. The gym is still there. You can't get in it now. But it's still there. And after COVID happened, they locked it down, and the building is actually still there. So, and the actual Cobra Kai school that they filmed is still there.
Yeah.
That building is still there, and
they just don't use it anymore.
They don't use it. It's a vacant building, and the only change that they made was they had put a wall there as Miyagi and Macho coming through the front door. There's that wall there that they kind of walked around. That's the only thing that they put there for the movie. But that wall's gone now.
Oh, okay.
It's just an empty space, but that building is still there.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly where, but it is still there. So a lot of the locations are probably still there. Elizabeth, she was cool. A little tiny 5'3" girl, you know. I think she was like 18 at the time the movie was.
Really? Okay, because I know I've seen the first Karate Kid. I don't know if I've seen the other ones or not.
The second one was all right. I've seen them all. The first one was still the best. The yellow car that Ralph Macchio drove in that movie, he has that car to this day.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me a lot.
I think it was a 46 Plymouth or something like that. I think it was, yeah. But he has that car to this day. I actually, when Comic-Con was here a few years back, Ralph and Billy Zabka were both here. And for some odd reason, they didn't have security. I just walked up to Ralph and said, hey, Ralph, you know, Pat, Noriyuki Pat Maria was my uncle. And I go, really? We start talking. He looks over to Billy and goes, let's go over here. He goes, what? He goes, hey, this guy's Pat's uncle, man. So we start talking, and all of a sudden security saw me talking and said, I couldn't do that anymore. Ralph said, no, we're talking. I said, well, by that time the line was starting to form.
Oh, okay. So they're like, you gotta sign autographs now.
Yeah, I was trying to get on them.
But like, he didn't remember you or whatever from like years ago?
No, he didn't.
Damn. Okay.
Because there were so many people running around that set. I mean, they had like 20 different cameras filming one different fight scene. It was kind of neat how they did it. They had cameras everywhere. You couldn't even see them. But where they placed the cameras, you got one fight scene with like 30 cameras filming one kick because they wanted to get the kick at a different angle. And that chicken kick that that Ralph did on Billy, he took that kick.
Really?
Yes, he took that kick. That's why it looked real, because he took it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they always leave in, like, if they get one good kick shot or whatever, okay, yeah, you got hurt during that, well, it was a good shot, we're going to use it.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun, so. I still like acting, I'd like to do more of it. I was trained on the stage, so I got a lot of...
kind of like, Chris Walken and all. That was me, too. I was always trained on the stage first before getting into... like acting on the film and all that. Although I always wanted to direct as well as act, so that when I was in college, that's what I did.
I never tried directing. I don't know if I could do that or not.
Man, I love directing on film, but I have no desire to direct a stage play.
It's harder on stage.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. I'll produce a stage play any day. I'd help produce one, but it's like I don't want to direct it. I'll act in it all day, but I don't want to direct a stage play. But I'll direct a movie.
I was associate producer on a movie, so that was kind of fun. I didn't have to do a damn thing. My name was on the credits as producer.
Associate producer, because associate producer could do a couple of things. It just depends, because sometimes you can get the credit as producer by just doing barely nothing. Sometimes just helping out a little bit.
Most of Mega Reel Entertainment, Shonda's films. I'm using the PA, and she puts me down as producer because I'm there every damn day, doing whatever she needs to be done.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. I like being on the movie set. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work. No sleep.
Right.
Stage is worse. My first professional acting gig was Cats.
Oh, really?
I got it because of gymnastics.
Now where'd you do that? Was this here in Sacramento?
It was a touring company.
Okay.
It wasn't on Broadway. They had come here to audition, and me and some friends of mine that were dancers. Okay, let's just audition, man. So we got in there. We did like a couple shows, and back in that time, you have to renew your contract every month. That's why the cast on Broadway shows changed so much.
Yeah.
Every month you would have to re-up. So and then. You don't make a lot of money on stage. That's why a lot of stage actors nowadays go to film and TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't make a whole lot. You get paid by the week. I think when I did it, it was only $1,500 a week.
Okay, that's not a hell of a lot, but it's not. Yeah, you feel like you'd make a little bit more.
Yeah, and then then some places you're doing 2 shows a day. Like so, you do a Sunday matinee, and then you do an evening show. You leave the makeup on, and you want to go out and put a hood on or something like that.
Yeah.
When I take the makeup on, it takes damn long to put on.
Right, especially for cats or something like that.
Every person had their own cat face that they designed, and that's the face that you wore throughout that show, throughout that run.
I'm going to top this off. Okay. I'm still listening, though. You want me to get you another water, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. I was like, but yeah, you said everyone did their own like cat face and everything?
Yeah, we designed our own cat faces.
Uh-huh. But then like whenever you go out though, you put a hood on, but even like...
Well, some of the guys, some of the actors took the makeup off. I partially took it off.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because every time you eat or drink something, you get makeup in it.
No, cause I could see like being backstage, cause I've never had anything where I had makeup on too much like that. I have like all my makeup I've had whenever I've done like stage plays and everything. I either you can just wipe it right off just about.
All the tumbling we had to do was hard too. Thank God we were younger, because every venue was different. Stage houses were different. Most of them were cement. And we had to do backflips, all kinds of stuff on cement.
Oh man!
So actually, so we couldn't do every performance. We had to rest our bodies once in a while. We'd be in the hot tub, and we got ice packs on our knees, on our hips, on our backs. And had to take 2 days off, because you just can't do it.
Yeah, you're just being slim. Your body's slamming on cement like crazy. Now, like whenever I was doing theater this is like community theater, so it's not like paid or anything. But one of the makeup artists, Paul, he'd been to New York and had done a bunch. But what he said, he was like, most stage actors, it was like they might have a makeup artist do the makeup for them like the first night, but usually it's like they always do their own makeup.
I do my own. I always did my own.
Yeah, like I do unless they have someone on set that's doing it. I'm talking about on stage. Usually if I'm doing something for the movie, it's usually someone else is doing the makeup for me.
Yeah, film work too. I never did my own for film. I always had the makeup artist do it. But on stage, I always did my own. I had my own makeup case. I had the community makeup case. I used to leave it open and say, hey, I don't want people using stuff, but put the shit back after you're done. I never had that problem until recently.
Huh.
And then I was starting to lose brushes. You know, these are expensive $15 brushes. Left me with the cheap ones.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that.
See, yeah, that's
but before that, everybody used to leave their makeup in. I said, hey, can I use your hairspray? Here, you know. And then what's really weird, a couple of musicals I did, the girls would come and say, hey, you guys got a curling iron? I said, excuse me? Isn't that a girl thing? Why would men have curling? You know, a lot of the girls just coming in just to see naked men.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, do you guys know how to put on false eyelashes? Again, ain't that a female thing?
Yeah, right. It's like, why would we have a curling iron here?
Yeah. Why would we? Yeah, but it was really weird because the guys had all the hairspray. They would borrow our hairspray.
Really?
Yeah. All the ones that I did. I mean, you got, you know, especially the musicals.
Huh? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. I know we had hairspray, but anyway, like that's the makeup. Whenever like we were doing it at the community theater or whatever. I mean, it was kind of more like a communal.
Yeah, a lot of theaters do have.
Even I feel like the ones I've done out here at the Black Box and all that. I feel like a lot of the makeup's been kind of communal, but I've never had that much that I've needed to really.
I did one show at the Black Box, and that was with Red Bench. It was Grease. And the only thing I didn't like about what Cheryl and Angela did, and I told them this, they would use recorded music. I said, Cheryl, that's the worst thing you can do. You have to use live music. They go, why is that? Because a recorded music, it's the same tempo. When you use a live orchestra, the tempo is different every night. The key is different every night. So sometimes you go on stage, and all of a sudden the orchestra decides they want to play it slow. You got to adapt. And then sometimes you go out there, they're playing it fast.
Yeah.
So recorded music, you get used to that. So that's why, and that's the one thing good about a live orchestra is the tempos change. And sometimes, you and the orchestra are in a different key.
Right.
And then sometimes, the orchestra will miss a note or hit a clinker. That's the beauty of live theater, where anything can happen, and it usually does.
Yeah.
Where in film, anything can happen, and it usually does. Cut, and you can do it again.
Fix it in post, one or the other.
Yeah, on stage, you're out there with your ass hanging out. You better figure out, you got yourself into this mess, you got to figure out how to get yourself out of this mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always like live theater, man. It's always fun. It's kind of like you say, if there's not enough pay in it, I kind of don't want to do it so much unless it's like a really good story that I'm like, all right, I'll be in this one. But it's just because there's a lot of time that's dedicated to it.
like Dark Road was if I had known about it, I would have loved to have done that. I like that. I did not know that they had an all-women's concentration camp. That the Nazis
that was crazy. I didn't know like all about that one, but that was wild. And I liked being able to play like a dark character in that too. That was pretty crazy and fun.
It was,
and all that.
But that would have been a show that I would have loved to have done if I'd known about it.
Yeah. Well, like I say, they brought you in though as the kind of the choreographer though.
Like a consultant, because I had so much experience. I just kind of hung around,
So had they already cast it, and then they hit you up and said, "Hey, we'd kind of like you to kind of show these people how to like." Yeah,
Dark Road. I didn't even know anything about it until like halfway through rehearsal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were already going at the time when I came into it.
Yeah, we'd already been doing our lines, and now
I met, I can't remember the other guy's name. The other guy that was in it.
Sean, and then then Armand, and then I can't remember who else. It was just like us three dudes that were in. No, and then Nick,
Yeah, Kim, I think, was it Kim? The lead?
Christine,
yeah. It's Christine. She got married.
Right.
She has a kid now.
Right.
I still talk to her once in a while. I lost touch with Cheryl and Angela. I didn't even know how to get a hold of them. And then a little Tony Fosso.
Yeah.
I still talk to her. She's grown. She's a beauty queen now. You know. Yeah. I still talk to them once in a while, but those are the only ones. I still talk to you. I lost touch with Sean, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what Sean does now. I kind of lost touch with him too, and then Cheryl and Angela. Since Angela went down to LA, I hadn't really talked to her. Anyone that I see around and everything like that.
She had her own clique that I felt kind of left out of because I wasn't their age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then one time they had a gathering and. Cheryl called me because Angela didn't tell you. No, I said, well, I'm telling you, I'm inviting you.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of this. You've been here since the beginning for this production. So, yeah. So, Cheryl used to call me for everything. And then Christina invited me to one. She goes, I'm surprised Angela didn't even invite you because you've been around here for so long. And Christina actually invited me to that. I couldn't make one of them. But I'm glad they did. Other than that, I just didn't care.
Because the only thing, I remember there was one little party at a house thing, and I could see if it was just the cast that got to, because it wasn't a whole lot of people, to be honest. It was I showed up and a few other, I can't remember, that might have been the one that you did. And then the last one was that dinner at the spaghetti restaurant or whatever. And then...
No, I was at that one. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the last
the one over there on off of Hazel.
Yeah.
Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, there were a lot of things that I didn't really like the way they were doing. I mean, I've been in theater a long time. I said, really?
Yeah, I didn't like it that they had.
I've never. What I didn't like was that they were charging all kinds. I said basically charging all these fees for this and that. I'm going, wait a minute. You're paying them to act.
Yeah, we should be getting paid. It's hang on a second. How come I got to supply this and that?
Yeah, that's
for
because
this.
they wanted me to actually do a role in Little Women, I think it was.
Yeah.
Then I found out that I had to pay for this. I had to pay for that. I said, oh no. I said, I know all these are the things. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I'm basically paying them to act.
Right. It's you're like a sight unseen producer almost.
Pretty much, yes. I added an office on. I know that's gonna be over $200. I ain't doing that. So that's why I wanted to be the consultant. That's all.
Yeah, I follow.
So I don't even know if they're even successful out there in LA. I've not heard.
No, because anyone that's out there is probably gonna see through it. It's like me. I do. I write books and then short stories too. And I'll pay for submittable and all that, but it's if there's any kind of person I'm going to submit it to and they charge to read, I'm like, no, you pay me and you guys get paid whenever people buy the product or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get,
I know you wrote a script about the ginseng. What happened with that?
I'm still trying to get it produced. It's one of those, I don't want to produce unless I have a good budget. So right now I'm writing these short horror things that I can shoot on a low budget that I just want to put them out online.
Because of because I told Mega Real Entertainment that said, hey, I know a guy that
tell him to hit me up.
Yeah, wrote a script about the ginseng wars. He goes, the ginseng wars. I said, yeah, well, he's
not ginseng wars, but it's a fictional account of the ginseng's one of the things.
Yeah, so he's from Virginia, and believe it or not, ginseng is really hot over there. People try to steal from each other. And she said, okay, I remember you telling me, you said, put it out there. She goes, how long is that? I said, oh, it's about, I think you had over 100 pages at that time?
Yeah, it's 100, it's definitely it's probably 120 pages or it might be more.
She told you.
It's 110 pages, I think.
Yeah, I think, I told her it's about 110 pages. She goes, ooh, that's about a 3-hour movie.
No, it's not.
But she said all her movies are about 100 pages, and they're only about an hour and a half. But yeah, I said, yeah, I'll let her know. She, just send her my way, and she's always interested in producing. She's always producing movies. And her husband is the filmmaker, and he's got movies written, but he can never get his Because she's always making his. I mean, he's always making hers.
Really?
He's the cameraman, the camera operator.
Oh, is
Her
that
husband,
is that Shonda or Shonda?
Shonda, yeah. Jason.
That's her. Is she the one that does Mega Reel?
Yeah, that's her.
Okay. So I hadn't met her before. Yeah, because like her husband was behind the camera doing that whenever.
Yeah, but she's always. In fact, when you, I didn't even know you're going to be in that production. And when I saw you, I told Shonda, I said, he was the one that. I remember I told you about. They had a script about the ginseng thing going on in Virginia, and she saw me and goes, "Oh, he's the one." Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Yeah.
I have her email, so maybe I'll hit her up because I got my book and stuff too. I'm also down to shoot a few because I got a few other scripts.
Yeah, Shonda's got the Slayer Chronicles, the book. The Zombie Chronicles, the last movie we shot, it was her book. It's called The Zombie Chronicles. We just made a movie. She just made a movie of her book. So she does basically the same thing. So that'd be great if you and her can get together. See what comes of it.
Yeah, if we can shoot, because I mean, even if we shoot before doing the.
Yeah, did you ever actually mention all that to her?
I can't remember if I mentioned it to her. I'm kind of guarded when it comes to stuff. I think I wanted to get to know her and talk to her a little bit before because I don't know. I'm paranoid of anyone taking like my kind of ideas and stuff like that. Not saying that she's the type that would. It's just like in this kind of game, you kind of you gotta be. Cautious with yourself and all that.
The good part is we're not Hollywood. And Hollywood is cutthroat and they're always Or music, same thing. I'm a guitarist and I steal stuff all the time. What guitar player does it? I was like, I like that riff, and we always do that. That's no
right. There's a lot of times I'm playing guitar and I don't even mean to steal, and I'll just be like, hang on a second, that sounds familiar. And you don't even mean to like discover it. I'll do that all the time.
We all do it. You can go to YouTube and say, hey, play this riff. This is what Peter Frampton does. That's why he actually sounds so good. He does this riff, and they teach you how to play it. So it goes around. I mean, stuff like that. But I get together with Shonda. I mean, she's actually come to me about a lot of things. Say, hey, she called me and said, hey, you happen to have this prop, that prop? Because I know Slayer Chronicles needed a crossbow. I happen to have a crossbow.
Cool.
It was kind of strange because since I'm a paranormal investigator, we have a ghost hunting team.
Did you bring the crossbow along with you?
No, I actually don't. What happened was, this is the team leader's, our team director's husband.
Yeah.
And he had his closet for about 25 years. And so back when he was younger, he actually made one. It looks like a medieval one. It looks like it's got a.
But he made his own crossbow?
He homemade his own crossbow. After he finished it, he never fired, never shot it. He put it through in his closet, forgot about it for 20 years. And a couple of years ago, he went to go clean out his closet because they were moving. Yeah. And he found it. And he said, hey, he called me and said, hey, you want a crossbow? I said, I hate to throw it away. I mean, it's not something you would want to throw away because somebody else is going to find that you probably don't want to have. I said, sure, I'll take it. He said, just don't pull the string back. Because it's been in my closet for about 25 years, it might break.
Oh, okay.
So I've used it as a prop. Slayer Chronicles, and then there was a production that the Runaway Stage Production did a production of Addams Family where Wednesday carries around a crossbow.
Yeah.
And I told him I have one, so they used it for that. And he actually found. I said I have bolts for this. So the arrows for the crossbow it's called a bolt, right? So yeah, I know they're only about this big. Yeah. I have bolts for those. When I find them, I'll give them to you. And he found them. I gave them to me. It scares the shit out of me.
Did you try shooting it?
No, because they're razor tips for hunting. Those things are.
Oh yeah, those broadheads.
Oh yeah, those broadheads. Those things are razor. That scared the shit out of me. I put them. I rubber banded the box and hit them. Damn, those things. You can shave with those things.
Oh yeah, no, they're sharp as hell. Because I've never hunted with a crossbow. I actually have a mini crossbow. That's got a draw weight that's 80 pounds, which that's like.
Shit.
Yeah, no, like
whenever you shoot.
Yeah, no, that'll shoot. It'll go through something, but I've only got the practice tips. But I've used that thing as a prop. But you can actually like shoot with it. But like I said, I've never hunted with a crossbow, but I love shooting that thing. But I've hunted with the broadheads like you were talking about on like a regular bow, a compound, and that's fun as hell to do.
Yeah, my dad was a bow hunter before there even was a compound bow. Yeah, but anyway, Shonda would call me and say, hey, I'm looking for zombies. Everybody wants to be a zombie. Looking for vampires. And now she uses Sacramento casting to find people.
Yeah, that's where that's how I saw the role. It was on SAT casting.
Because we were just it was the word of mouth. I would make phone calls, and the other person would make phone calls. They get all excited when it comes time to shoot. Everybody freaks out. So that was the Zombies announcement when we went to Tuesday's Halloween party. We were supposed to, because she has a party scene that she wanted to film. And that party was perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody showed up, so we couldn't film. I showed up, and then a friend of mine showed up, and then Euphoria Spark showed up. We're supposed to be the lead, and Jason said, "Yeah, nobody's here." And we had 10 guys who were supposed extras along with the real party guests here, so we're not gonna do it. So finally, we'll just enjoy the party. Who cares?
Yeah, so it was just a night you guys were hanging out, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
See, like with me, I've had that before, to where people have no one showed up, and I just kind of cheated, where I shot like close-ups or whatever I needed at the thing with like the band or whoever in the background. Then I just went to where there was an actual party or a concert, and I just took the camera and shot it in there, and I was like, I'll make it work. But in like most movies I've seen, like, and even like in Independence, and I'll even say this in music, like all the good stuff is like, they figure out the art is like, okay, well, what we were going for didn't work. How are we going to make this work? And then they just do what they have to do, and it's like, all right, it works, and that's what kind of stands out the most. Like a lot of them are like that.
Yeah, and since Shonda and Jason and me were paranormal investigators, a lot of weird things happened when we filmed Slayer Chronicles. Dawn Spinella was our script supervisor, and she had taken a picture of Shonda just like this, looking at the script.
Yeah.
And she took the picture from like over here, and she showed it to me. She goes, "John, I know you and Shonda are ghost hunters. What do you think about this?" I said, "I'm going, oh, shit." Shonda was like this, doing something with the script, and back of her, there was an entity.
Oh, damn. Like a ghost or what?
Yeah, they showed up on the camera, and she goes, "Send that picture to me." And she never did, but I saw it. I'm going to show it to Shonda too. And then there was a couple of scenes in there that we had to shoot that Jason showed me. And so I'm not going to tell anybody about this, but I'm just going to tell them that we have to reshoot it and then come out. And there was like a shadow figure that went across it when we watched the dailies.
Oh shit!
A whole bunch of times we had to reshoot during that movie.
So so the shadow thing was interrupting the shoot.
Yeah,
like,
so we had to reshoot it. Yeah, I said send it. He goes, send those to me. He goes, not yet. When we get the movie all finished, I'll send them all to you. He hasn't done it yet, but they still have them.
Huh. Now, do you think that you were shooting in like a haunted location? What location were you shooting at?
Slayer Chronicle was at a ranch. Andrea Rodriguez, I don't know if you know her. She owned a ranch house in Roseville, which actually her sister and her family were living in at the time.
All right.
So we filmed it. They had a old-fashioned potbelly stove, and it was a nice. We had upstairs. It was all wood. It was very rustic.
Yeah.
And then she had outbuildings and a little creek right through there, and a little bridge and a little deck. It was a huge property, and a wooded area of Roseville, which I never knew Roseville had a wooded area. So we shot there.
There's a couple wooded areas out there.
We were there for the entire shoot, actually. And across the way, there was actually a park. Mm-hmm. They had a bike trail. We went over there to shoot too because Richard Tyson was in it. Tim Russ directed it. Okay. Tyson had to go over there and kidnap the little girl riding the bike. A vampire, and her mom was there too. We all did that. And so we shot the park, but most of the time we just stayed at the ranch because the property was so big. The fight scene took place outside. So that's when I choreographed the fight scene, and it was in the middle of January, going into February.
All right.
It dropped down to 32 degrees at night.
Yeah, it can get chilly at night.
We were falling, and we didn't know the grass was going to be as hard as cement. We were standing out there waiting to go on. We had they got us these. Somebody went and bought hand warmers at like a REI or something, because we're hands are up, and we're sitting there going. And they got us hand warmers, and they gave us blankets. We're like this, and waiting to go on. We got all the martial arts guys got all stretched out, like they were standing there like this. And it's okay, you guys. Okay, it's time for you guys. Oh shit! No, we gotta warm up a little bit. No, you guys don't have time to warm up again. Just do it.
Yeah. It's like you're all just like
Yeah, and then we're laying on the grass, and we stand up. Our clothes are wet because the grass was. It was still fun. It was a lot of fun. Even the camera people, they couldn't really keep warm. They were cold as hell, and they had to shoot it.
Yeah,
They had to keep a steady things to be cold.
Right. Nah, it's like you got to get those like thermal things to wear.
Everybody had heavy jackets. Some people had 2 or 3 jackets all the time, and you could tell it was cold because you could see our breath.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Do you want that on film? I said, well, not really. I think they took it out because it wasn't supposed to have that.
It wasn't supposed to be cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes if you're shooting like horror stuff, like
on top of that, we had a fog machine.
At that point, it's probably like it doesn't matter. Like if you have breath or not.
The guy got crazy with the fog machine. When we were doing the fight scene, we couldn't see. And I had to fight this guy with a knife.
You get lost in the.
Yeah, I had to fight this guy with a knife, and the knife was real.
Shit.
I got lost in the house. I got lost in the fog. Even though I knew where the knife was going to go, I knew where it was coming from. But if you took a wrong step, it's going right to me. Because it was supposed to come to the side. I just pushed it away, but I couldn't see it till he was right on top of me. Because the guy just kept. It was so far you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, your reaction to that knife had to be real too. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Just swat that away. That's crazy though, too. You could have smacked it and cut yourself or knocked it into somebody else.
It had an edge on it. I mean, the edge was sharp, but it wasn't razor sharp.
Right. It's like Tom Cruise bringing like his blade into stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like the stunt he did during the Olympics.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it was pretty good. You know how much you got paid for that? He did it for free.
Oh, really? It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he jumped off the Eiffel Tower like this, and then he
was on the motorcycle?
Then he got on the motorcycle, stopped it, and walked through the crowd. He was high-fiving everybody. Then he got on this plane, C-130 or something like that. Then he jumped out, and all of a sudden we switched to LA. When he jumps out in LA, he takes the flag, and then he runs down parts of LA, gets on a motorcycle again. He winds up on top of the Hollywood sign. It's got the Olympic rings. So it was cool how they did that. It was really neat. I mean, they had filmed the LA part ahead of time. It was all done like, I think he was doing Mission Impossible, the last Mission Impossible movie when he did that.
Oh, really?
So it was like about a year or two before.
Oh, okay. I figured like, cause I know he had rapped on like that.
Yeah, that was the current Mission Impossible movie that was filming. It was filmed during that time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's when he did it. So that was kind of cool. That was like the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, really. No, Tom Cruise is like nuts with that. That's the movie that they need to make though. Is like Tom Cruise with Matt Damon and all that. One of like we either have Tom Cruise as the villain or Matt Damon as the villain. One of them like that.
I don't think Tom Cruise has ever been a villain.
Really?
I don't think
he's had to have been a bad guy in something. No, yeah, he was in Collateral. Collateral with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, yeah. He was the hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dies in the cab at the end. Was it? Yeah, I saw that. That was actually a good movie.
That's a really good one. I need to watch that one again too. He's not a bad guy in this, but it's the best role Tom Cruise has ever done was in Tropic Thunder as Les Grossman.
I don't remember that one.
Like where he plays like the angry.
Was that the one with Hulk Hogan in it?
No, that's where they go to Vietnam. They're making that movie, and Robert Downey Jr. plays like the black dude, the only like the one.
Oh, that one.
Where he has
the makeup.
Yeah, but no, like Tom Cruise just plays like this pissed off like studio executive or whatever. But that's his best role ever, man. But oh shoot, I'll ask you this other like question here real quick, but since I'm talking about movies, but I wish that they would have done this one for Bad Boys, because they already have like Bad Boy 3s or 4, I don't know what they're at now, but whenever Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, I was like, oh, this is bad for Will Smith, but I was thinking, dude, I know the best way he could recover is they would have to do a Bad Boys 4 or whatever it is, and it's like, and how it starts out is like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are doing a bust or something, and then in the beginning Martin Lawrence takes a bullet, and so he's in the hospital, and he's like, Mike, I got it, and then they put and then what happens is they partner him up with Chris Rock, so Chris Rock is Will Smith's like partner or whatever, and they're doing a bunch of stuff, but then halfway through the movie, Chris Rock betrays Will Smith. You find out Chris Rock's the real bad guy, and he's like, you never could be a good partner. He says something to Will Smith, and so he shoots Will Smith. And that way the audience is like, oh no, Chris Rock. And then Martin
everybody
Lawrence
said that was staged, but I watched it.
I don't think so.
It was not staged.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Will Smith just had a
He was pissed.
Yeah, he had a melt. He was like, oh no, Jada he had been cuckolded. He had that moment. He had that moment. But no, that was my thought. I was like, no, if we did that Bad Boys movie, that way everyone would be like, that's the only way you could like heal that stuff. Then it ends with Martin Lawrence and like Will Smith not being that bad, but he's like, let's go get this mother. And then they go after Chris Rock.
It'd be like Expendables where they got all the top action guys together in one big movie.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how they would have gotten like Chris Rock with that one. Or heal the wounds that Will Smith.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't watched the Oscars. The Oscars got too political for me.
Oh yeah, everything's gotten too political anymore. I'm like, man, this is when I watch a good movie.
Can't we just accept your trophy and stop saying who you endorse and you got to vote for? Oh God.
Right.
And then they play the music and they're still talking. They cut away from the commercial. When the commercial comes back, they're still talking.
Right. Well, it's like it cracks me because it's like Leonardo DiCaprio right now. If you look at his like Instagram or anything he posts, it's always like something about the rainforest. It's like, bro, we know it's in danger. Go make another movie. You're like, show us the 25-year-old chick you're
X
hanging
now.
out right now.
X, formerly Twitter, is. You ever get on there? It's all politics now.
Oh yeah.
It was supposed to be better when Elon Musk bought it. If it's not politics, it's pornographic.
Yeah, well, that's like the only thing it's good for.
I like it for the pornography, but
it's like, oh, what's the Bella Danger up to today?
Yeah, that's too political, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, yeah, you go down there political and then pussy or something like that is what it is.
I read about every once in a while. I comment. I mean. A friend of mine today posted something about the debate. I had to comment back because she was pissed after she saw it, and she goes, Kamala Harris is a big liar. And I posted, stuff about, ABC staged it for her benefit, and there's proof out there. And I commented back. She commented back, said, "Yeah, I kind of thought it was weird. Yeah, I didn't agree with it. I didn't like it. Yeah.
I kind of thought it was weird." No, the best thing, like any of those debates, anyone that gets disappointed, I'm like, man, they're just there like to laugh at. Like no one ever says anything.
I didn't watch it.
That was probably the best thing not to watch it. I thought I was actually going to see something worthwhile and all that.
Yeah, the first time I was going to watch AGT on Tuesday, all of a sudden the convention was. I was like, what an AGT? They didn't even say anything about AGT not being on today. And so I watched something else, and like about 15-20 minutes, AGT started at 8, I think like 8:20 it changed the channel, AGT was on.
Yeah.
And so how much talent did I actually miss? So.
Gotcha. I'll bring this back to what you had touched on like earlier. We didn't get on it because there was just like other cool stuff. But
yeah.
Real quick, you said you had trained under Chuck Norris. How did that happen?
My original grandmaster who passed, Master Kong, when he was in Korea, Chuck was in the military in the Air Force stationed in Korea, and they met and became good friends. And then once Chuck got out, came back to the States and brought Master Kong here. And Chuck was actually responsible for introducing the Korean martial arts to the United States. It's Tong Soo Do. All the Korean styles after that, I don't care what it is, came from Tong Soo Do. You got Taekwondo, you got Taekwondo Musul, it's still Taekwondo. But anyway, he introduced the Korean martial arts to the United States, and Master Kong used to bring Chuck to his school on 16th Street downtown over here. And Chuck used to come in and teach and just hang out. And then I started training with him. And he said, hey, if you're ever in LA, come down and train. So I went to LA. I was there for about a year or two, I think, because I was doing other stuff down there. So I trained with him for a while, and I actually learned how to kick from him, because a lot of Taekwondo guys nowadays, all the ones that I know, have artificial hips. Because it's the one thing bad about Taekwondo, it destroys your hips, because you're kicking up here in the atmosphere.
Yeah, with like a lot of force behind it.
Yeah, there are, and I still have my hips. And because he showed me the correct way to kick. And how you're taught to kick in martial arts, even punch, is like at full power. You're gonna extend everything. Your elbows hurt. You extend this. Now your knee hurts because you're kicking full power, but there's nothing to kick, to absorb it and push back. All the force is going that way, and it's So Chuck said, "No, don't do that." And I said that he always leaves the knee slightly bent. It took me a while to figure it out, but I finally figured it out. So a lot of people watching me kick, I said, you ever watch me kick, my knee doesn't extend. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, you do a spring motion almost.
Yeah.
Like a whip, yeah.
Yeah, and it saved my hips, it saved my joints. So that's one thing. And then he's actually better than a lot of people. But he's good. But he's actually better than a lot of people give him credit for.
I mean, he's got all those jokes. I think I'd say a lot of people give him a lot of credit. You know what I mean?
And, he retired undefeated as a tournament fighter. Back in the '60s, there was no contest. It was all points.
Okay.
He retired undefeated. So.
And then he got into acting and all that.
Yeah. And people say, they want to know what rank he is. Who the hell cares what rank he is? When I trained under him, he was a 5th degree. I think he's like about 10th degree now. I don't know what he is now. Don't really care. That guy's 85 years old now.
Oh, that's how old he is? Damn, I didn't realize he was that old. That makes sense, though. He's been around for a long time.
He's still training. Toward the end of Walker, Texas Rangers, that wasn't even him doing the fight scenes anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was. I mean, he's 5'9", so we're about the same height.
Yeah.
But the guy doubling for him was about 6'2", and he looks just like him.
Right.
He was the guy that was actually doing the fights, and you could tell because the speed was different.
Gotcha.
Chuck was fast, but toward the end, he was still fast, but not as fast as he used to be. And the double that they had, that guy was fast. So, and you can tell it wasn't him. But he's still around, Jackie Chan is 60, Jet Li is up in there too now, so Jackie Chan can't do, jump from rooftop to rooftop anymore.
He's still doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he still does do crazy stuff.
Like,
60-something years old, like Jet Li is, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is around that same age. Arnold Schwarzenegger is close to 80 now, and so all our action heroes, they're getting up there.
They are. Like, some of them, they don't look like, but no one looks like the age so much they did like a few years ago. Like, there's people that look 59, like in the 80s, and like now,
it's all how,
you know what I mean? They look like they're like 90 something at that age.
It's all how you take care of yourself. Good sleep. Eat right. Exercise. Yeah, you're right. There are some people that are 40 that look like they're 80.
Yeah. Not so much now, but it seemed like back in the years ago that was like that. You see someone who's like, damn, you're not. Compared to now, like people that are 60 who still look like they could be 40 or something like that.
I saw a picture of a celebrity recently somewhere. I'm going, I said, who is that? And the name came out. I said, damn.
I was gonna say J-Lo is still 35. Like, what are you talking about? Like, anytime you see a photo of her.
She's I think pushing 60 now, or if not.
Right, but if you look at her, you'd be like, she's still 35. You know what I mean?
Kelly McGillis doesn't look like herself anymore.
Now, who's Kelly McGillis?
She was in Top Gun. The first Top Gun.
Gotcha. She's probably like I'd recognize, but just don't know the name.
I think she's in her 60s now, and she's put on a lot of weight. It doesn't even look
really.
Like her. Yeah, her hair's completely white. She's got glasses.
There's a couple. Maybe I have seen her like recently because there's a couple of girls from the '80s that just like didn't really keep up with it, and there's like some that did that are still like.
Jamie Lee Curtis is full of gray hair, but she still looks good.
Yeah,
she keeps in shape.
Yeah, she still stays healthy. Like, she looks the same as pretty much always, so.
Mm-hmm. Because I do all the cons in my Comic Con, and the one coming up is Sinister Creature Con.
Yeah.
They have all the celebrities that were in horror, sci-fi movies, and some of them you meet, they go, they have a backdrop they put in the back, and they always has a picture of them younger ones. Some of them you meet in person, they're going, wow, I walked by this person, I didn't even know it was her. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the picture anymore because they're like 30 or 40 years older. But some of them still look good. So.
Yeah, what's your name? Fariza? Who's the chick that was from the Craft?
Oh, Fariza Balk? Yeah, she was just here at the last show.
Yeah, she was there not too long ago. But she's still looking good.
She still does look good. And then the problem was that nobody knew it was her because she walked around with a mask the whole time. You know, when people paid to have a selfie with her, she didn't take the mask off. She was like this the whole time. But people are saying, well, you know, we're past this mask thing. Why does she have it on? I said, well, she might have a immunity deficiency or some kind like that she's susceptible to whatever's floating around the air. I said, that could be too. You know, she's just being safe.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're doing the Michael Jackson thing or whatever. Like for a minute there, he had that on for whatever. But no, she could be doing it to be safe. But then that makes me think too. It's like, man, if she didn't want to be there, she could just have like someone. It's like, you know what, you look a little bit like me. Just go down there and wear the mask.
But
I don't feel like
she did take it off at one point. And I saw her, and she still looks good. She really does.
Oh yeah, I wonder if she's got anything that she's doing. Like acting wise.
I didn't get a chance to ask her.
Because I like her. She's fun to watch in any kind of role that she does. So.
And the show before that, it was the strike was still going on. Dina Meyer was here.
Now who's that?
She was in Starship Troopers.
Oh, that played Dizzy?
Dizzy.
Okay, yeah, I always liked Starship Troopers.
I didn't like the end when she died. She said.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I totally forgot about the strike. I said, what's your next project? She goes, I totally forgot about the strike. She says, I got some stuff in the works, but I can't really talk about because of the strike. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the strike was really about. People thought it was about this, but it wasn't. It was really basically what it was about AIs taking over.
Yeah.
You know, like they did with. Peter Cushing in the last Star Wars movie, that was terribly real.
Like, did they try to use AI or did they try to use? Well, why would they try to bring back Peter Cushing anyway?
I don't know. He's been dead for quite a while, but damn,
I know,
he looked real. Everyone said, well, Carrie Fisher was in there. I said, no, that's the real Carrie Fisher. She finished all of her scenes before she passed, so that was the real Carrie Fisher. But they put Grand Moff Tarkin back in there. Why?
Yeah, that was like years ago. Well, his character probably wouldn't be around at all. But no, after I saw the second Star Wars, and I liked it the first time I saw it, then after I watched it again, I'm like, man, they keep on just doing remakes of like the original three. It's not even worthwhile to watch it.
I got so Star Wars out because like it seems like every month they're cranking out a new movie, and of all the new ones, Rogue One is the best one.
Yeah, out of all the new ones. The Mandalorian was good, and I liked all those.
Yeah, I didn't like the way the direction that Disney was taking them. And George Lucas was actually a consultant. They didn't want him around anymore because he kept telling him, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this. And he got pissed off. He wants to buy it back. I said, well, what the hell did you sell it for?
Right.
$4.5 billion. And he's still controlling the merchandise, though.
Yeah, no, he was smart on that. Like, he created the merchandising thing pretty much. So, but yeah, he was smart on that. But yeah, you definitely need it. I think that he got pissed off because people were making fun of him because like Jar Jar and whatever. And it's like, Jar Jar is fun when like that came out and I was a kid. That was fun when you're a kid, but after when you're older, it's like, man, we don't need this character.
I wrote him into a ballot one year. I can't remember which president, but I didn't like either one of them. No. So I wrote it up with Jar Jar Binks. But yeah, I noticed the Star Wars movies have stopped. Thank God, because the Mandalorian is still on.
Yeah, well, they're doing good with that.
And people that are just now getting into Star Wars are the younger people that weren't around in 1977 when I first saw it. Mm-hmm. And so, well, if you want to learn the entire story, go back to 1977 and watch them all the way to where they are now. You'll get the whole story. Then to fill in the gaps, watch the animation because the animated series fills in the gaps. Yeah. Then you'll be caught up.
See, I don't know. I always liked story and stuff, but I'm kind of one of those that I just follow the main story because I was a kid whenever all that stuff was coming out on Cartoon Network and all that, and like the new trilogy. Yeah, and all that with young Obi-Wan and Anakin.
I was a kid. I just got out of high school. I graduated in 1977. I think it was that summer of that year that I waited like 2 hours in line, and they were as a promo. They were doing they were giving out the May the Force be with you, but it's blue with the star in the background. I still have mine.
Oh yeah.
Oh
man, that's gotta be worth something. But that's really cool.
Yeah, on the back it's all rusted already. You know?
Nah.
But I still have mine, and the first 1,200 people I think got it. I was lucky enough to get one.
Oh
and
wow,
now
that's nuts.
you can get them on eBay now, but the new ones. I guess they're reproducing them now, but it doesn't look as good. But yeah, I still have it. It's on the shelf, collecting dust.
And what'd you say it was again? It's a pin for the first 1,200. Like, what'd they look like? You said it was.
It's a blue button. You know, one of the standard buttons you wear, political buttons or something like that. It has a blue background with white dots for stars and a white letters that says "May the Force be with you."
Oh, okay.
That's what it says. And I posted that on Facebook and Instagram, and somebody said, "Whoa, that isn't original." I can't prove it because they don't give a COA, but I was there in 1977. I waited in line, and I was one of the fortunate people that got one. They want to know. I said, "You want to sell that?" I said, "Well, I saw an original on eBay going for $500."
I don't know that. That should be way more than $500, I think. But you could probably find like whatever you call those people, like a collector or something that can.
Collector, yeah. If you're a serious collector, they don't. Money is no object. They'll pay. But I'm not interested in selling it though.
No, I got you. But I'm just saying, like, if it ever came up, they could definitely probably look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely from 1977 or whatever."
And if you go to the cave, if you've ever been there, they got a ton of Star Wars shit.
Where's the cave at?
On Arden Way.
Oh, is it like? I think I may have seen it.
It's in the old Goodwill building on Arden Way. If you go towards Awad Avenue, that way, it's on the left side. You'll see the sign that says the cave. It's right there by it's next to where the old Dimple used to be. In fact, that is Dimple. In fact, when Dimple closed down, the reason it closed is because the family retired.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dimple used to have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, and the son didn't want to take it over because he had his own store in Folsom, which was the cave.
Oh,
so
okay.
the Folsom, they got Arden. They opened up one recently in Roseville. And now they have another one that's on Greenback, which is an outlet store. Mm-hmm. Because you could take your collectibles and sell them if you don't want them, which I've done. I've had DVDs that I stole because my dad, after he passed, he had a ton of DVDs because at his age he didn't leave the house much. He just watched movies all day. Most of the ones I got rid of were westerns because he loved westerns.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I must have given him like 200 DVDs I sold over there, and then they had people sell stuff all the time. You can take your swords in there, your knives in there, and watches.
Yeah.
So shoes, they got a ton of shoes.
Yeah.
And then they have so much shit in their warehouse. They had to open up an outlet store.
Oh damn.
Because they keep buying stuff.
Yeah.
They had to open up a second warehouse, and that's full already. So they got a lot of cool shit in there.
So I wonder if he's had to open up another store somewhere then.
He might. They might. That's the way they're going.
Yeah, that.
That's what they opened up the outlet store. He said that we don't buy anything at this store. We're just trying to, everything's 50%. We're just trying to get rid of it because our warehouse is so full.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, every day they're posting it on Facebook. Say, come to our outlet store. We need to get rid of stuff.
No, I'll have to check that out.
Barrels and barrels of DVDs, and you get little Star Wars figures about this big, you know. I wasn't much of a Star Wars collector. I got a lightsaber. I got a Darth Vader, and I was more of a Star Trek guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, no, I was never like really big into Star Wars, but I liked it enough that it's kind of the same thing. Give me like a lightsaber, maybe one collectible, but I was like, let me just watch the movies and enjoy that.
There's the toy, was it the Toy Alley or something on Arden Way? It's by, it's behind LeBree's warehouse.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the wrong one. But anyway, it's on Arden Way. I know the guy that runs the place. He's got the Darth Vader helmet, the actual original. It's actually a 3-piece helmet.
Oh, okay.
And he's got the broken down version for like $1,000. And well, there was a calendar store that was in Arden Fair Mall. They still produce that. They still make that 3-piece helmet. It was only $99 there. But but it was because he had this part on, then the mask went over, and then the helmet went on.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So he had the real
Nobody even knew that till. What was Empire Strikes Back? And Luke actually took everything off, and he had the bottom part where those things stuck out, which was actually his breather unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's interesting that they had it all.
And it has a stand where you can actually put the 3 pieces, but it's huge. It's like this. The case it comes is like this big. I wanted it one
they
time.
got a legitimate headpiece for you. Yeah,
I got some of those collectibles at home. I'd have to buy another house just to put it in.
Yeah.
I got die-cast stuff. I got die-cast cars I can't even put out. I get too many guitars at home. Because I'm a musician, I'm always constantly buying guitars, which I shouldn't be doing, but I am.
Yeah.
Every time I play guitar, I like it. It's like, that's mine. It's going on with me.
Nah,
I need to home.
like a friend of mine from college, he'd always buy a guitar. But what was funny too is he reminded me of like an addict, but with guitars, because he'd buy a guitar and he'd have like this Fender Stratocaster for like a week and a half. He'd ship it out. Now he'd get an acoustic, and now he'd be playing this acoustic. And but he would just keep on switching out guitars. It's like, bro, why do you keep on switching them out?
The older, especially an acoustic guitar, the older guitar gets, the better it sounds. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I've got a guitar from 1979. Two of them from. I got one from '79. It's worth about $5,000. And my dad had an old Gibson Electric from 1969. It's about $6,000 now. He bought it for $500.
Oh shit!
And I won't even sell it.
Oh hell no!
I still play them.
Is it a Les Paul or what kind?
No, it's one that they don't make anymore. It's an ES-150D. It's a hollow body. It was made more for the jazz crowd. It didn't really sell.
Huh? Okay.
And if you know anything about guitars, it's Gibson still makes the ES-335, which is the exact same guitar.
Yeah, I have the Epiphone version of it. I got the Epiphone
the ES-150 has the 3-inch sides.
Yeah.
And no center block in the center, because it feeds back like crazy. But other than that, that's the same guitar. And I can't play, because I play high gain. I play a lot of rock and high gain. That thing feeds back like crazy. It drives me nuts. And I don't know how to stop it. When my dad played it, he played clean. And he didn't play at high volume. You know, all he did was just this. You know, I play at high volume and do all the all that kind of stuff. So.
I don't know, I always like a hollow body or semi-hollow body. That's what I use now. But I like the semi-hollow body because it's fun to practice without the amp or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
And there's I'm not gonna go get it, but I like, because I found the way if I play it, I can make it sound like a bell. It sounds like a church bell, or like it goes. I can make it go boom, boom. I'm like, oh damn, that sounds tight. But then it's like if you plug it in, then it can sound like really nice and heavy. So I like semi-hollow bodies a lot. I'd like to get into a hollow body.
I have a Stratocaster I had for 20 years. And I won't get rid of it. It's a Mexican Strat, and a lot of people hate the Mexican Strats. I happen to like them. I got a deal on the guitar store on sale, and it's my go-to guitar. I use it for everything. It's part of me. It's like it's so comfortable to play because it's broken in. I got used to it.
Yeah.
And it's got a soul.
No, I follow that. Yeah, like you said, once you have an older guitar. Real quick, I've played a Mexican Telecaster, and I liked it. It sounded pretty nice.
They're nice.
To me, but like, why would people not like them? Because I've never heard of that. I've never heard of them not liking them.
I have no idea, and I talked to a few people that have Stratcasters. You have a Mexican Strat, American Strat. So I have a Mexican Strat. The reason is they're a little bit cheaper. They said the quality is not there, but it is. Fender has quality guys there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I played both, and I can't tell the difference, really.
Right. No, I was just saying, you put a Stratocaster through like an orange amp, you're gonna get like that thick, grungy kind of sound or whatever you want.
Oh yeah, that's what I like about it. You know, you get the twang. Like the Telecaster has that cheap guitar twang. Like those country guys like. You know. Right. Yeah.
No, like I say, I like Telecasters, and then I like Les Pauls.
I want to get a Telecaster.
Les Pauls, and then the semi-hollow bodies.
I like Les Pauls too, but man, they're a tree trunk. They're heavy.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. That they're like.
I got bad shoulders, and I can't set up and play those things that long. So the Strat is heavy too, but not as. I also have an EVH Frankenstein, the red, black, and striped Van Halen one.
Oh, okay.
That I love to play. I only use it to play Van Halen songs on. So, people see that guitar. So you play Van Halen. So what do you know how to play? I said, let me guess. You want Eruption, right? And they always say they want Eruption. I said, yeah, I do play Eruption, but I try not to tell people that know how to play Eruption. I just know this part.
Because then
the tapping part. That's the only part I know. There's more to the song than that.
Right.
That's actually people say, oh, that's the hard part. I said, no, the tapping is the easy part.
Yeah.
The hard part is before that.
Yeah, where he gets up and then it's like, and then he goes,
Yeah, he's got the pitch harmonics and he dive bombs it and stuff like that. But most people just play the tap part. Tapping is actually easy. He didn't invent it. Like,
well, he said he got it from Jimmy Page.
yeah, he
Jimmy
was at a
Page.
Zeppelin concert. He saw Jimmy Page do this.
Yeah.
That's where he got the idea from. So, you know, all the younger guitar players coming up now say, oh, Van Halen invented tapping. No, they've been doing that for about 30 years.
Yeah, but he just invented it.
He just kind of perfected it, found a way to do it that's really cool.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess he was doing it because no one else was doing it.
No one else was doing it.
Not quite like that. There's like some blues players or jazz players that had done a couple things like that, but not to that extent to it. But now, real quick, as we talked about, like you do paranormal investigating and everything. What led you to get? How'd you get into doing paranormal investigating?
I was always interested. I live in a haunted house. So, because I had 2 deaths in my house, actually 3.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, actually my grandma passed, and my grandpa passed, and my mom passed in there, and my dad passed in there. Actually, my dad passed, well, my mom technically was dead, but she had a very faint pulse. And we took her to the hospital, and they pumped her through full of drugs to, she had a pacemaker. And so they kept her alive, and we just said that we want the DNR. So the DNR resuscitate, and so they start gradually shutting off the drugs, and then once they shut off, it was about 5 minutes after she went, and my dad passed. Well, he was 90, so my mom was 85. So I inherited the house, and their spirits are walking around. I can feel it, and then all of us that are in the group, our team director lives in a haunted house. In fact, I investigated her house. That's how we met. And then her husband, I investigated his house, which was an apartment, was haunted. He lived off of La Riviera, Blue Ridge Apartments, or something like that. The unit that he stayed in was haunted. It was haunted by a bunch of kids. We don't know why. And he bought some little corgi cars, so they put them around the house.
Yeah.
And he'd get up some morning, and the cars were like in different places around the floor. Every once in a while, he'd see a couple of them move. So I investigated his house, and Melissa's house had a porthole in her bedroom, and so was the closet. I don't know why.
It's always a closet, you said?
It was a closet. And I was laying on her bed, and I see this swirl thing going up like this. And then it was all most of the we have an investigation tomorrow, actually, which I actually can't. 10 minutes from where the team director lives, but I forgot I can't be there because I got to go to Shonda's premiere, and I got to let them know that. But anyway, usually most of the investigations we have are all familial. And if you got your grandparents or your mom or your aunt, they're running around the house and they're protecting you, and they're always going to be here. And we got pets. We've seen pets. And then I got a picture one time at an investigation where I actually got an orb that you couldn't see with the naked eye, but a lot of times it comes out on camera.
Yeah.
And it had a face of a dog. And I was outside when I was doing it. I went inside and says, did you guys have a dog at one point? She goes, yeah, he just died like about 3 days ago. I said, well, is this it? And the guy goes, oh man, that's him.
Oh, damn.
I said, where'd you get it? I said, by this mound over here. I said, yeah, that's where he passed.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. So, and then I've seen demons before. We've been on demonic ones, which are really dangerous. A couple of investigations we went on, dealt with the Ouija boards.
Or you dealt with them, or someone in the place that dealt with them?
Somebody in the place dealt with them, It is just a game, but it is dangerous at the same time, because every time we can contact the spirits and talk to them, but at the end of our session, when we close it out, we always thank them for taking the time to talk with us.
Yeah.
Because if you don't close your session, it leaves it open.
Yeah, I've heard this before. That's
and the evil stuff can walk through. So we always close it like we investigated a house with them that had a whole bunch of mirrors. And they were facing each other. And I said, you guys need to get rid of some of those mirrors, especially when they're facing each other. And we said, well, mirrors are a spiritual containment field. they hold, especially when they face each other, they can go back and forth. TV's the same way. And so they got rid of a lot of the mirrors. You see on the TV paranormals, we have all that.
Okay.
So we are pretty well funded.
Nice. And so I've seen some of it. Like, so how does it work? Is there kind of like some of the stuff on like Ghostbusters where they have like the like it reads like at a higher level, whatever?
Yeah, we do. We have one that's called the SLS, which is basically it picks up the stick figures. When you see a spirit that manifests itself, it's a stick figure just moving around. You can't see it to the naked eye, but you can see it on the SLS camera. And all that equipment is actually modified for paranormal. Like cameras are modified. As, a regular camera off the street just won't take it. You have to modify. We have a spirit box, which is a communication device, and the voices will come over.
Okay.
That and they use a lot of energy. That's why we carry extra batteries, and a lot of times we'll go in there with fresh batteries. All of a sudden, our batteries are dead because they suck that energy.
Yeah.
In order for them to talk.
Yeah, no, I've been around like, only like one real experience, maybe like two that like I kind of had to actually happen while all the batteries were like kept on going dead or whatever, like real fast or not lasting that long. So.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, a lot of those shows, they kind of manufacture evidence because in an hour's time. And they want something to happen because people are not going to watch.
Yeah, I've heard that.
A lot of the investigations we go into, nothing happens. They said, we're just sitting here investigating, talking, nothing happens. 2 hours, 3 hours, nothing happens. So we get bored sometimes. We want something to happen, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, ghosts are like regular people. You can ask them to do something, but they don't have to do it. It's like a live person. You can ask them to do something, they don't have to do it. Or they do when they feel like doing it. So it's the same way, but a lot of it is familiar. We had a lot of evil ones where we had a little girl that had an invisible friend and found out the invisible friend was real. It was the devil.
That's like the devil, not a demon or anything?
Kind of both. And her mom was trying to explain. She was too young to explain what it looked like, but she drew it.
Yeah.
And she showed us, oh shit, this is not good. So we had to get, a lot of the stuff that we do now, we're actually booked into 2025. So we had a lot of investigations and pre-pandemic, and once the lockdowns happened, we went to, because our team director is a medium, she does readings. Mm-hmm. So she gets a lot of calls about doing readings. That's what we're doing during that time. But now, every once in a while we get a case, like tomorrow we get a case. It's a light one. A light one usually means that, wham bam, thank you man, we're usually done. They just want validation.
Oh, that it's haunted. They don't really
we're going knocking on doors or something like that. Just want validation. So are we crazy or something actually going on? And we'll go in there and validate, whether they say yay or nay. And then a lot of these, I've been on those shows before, like 5 times, and all of our team has been, as a team, we've been on the shows, or individually, as investigators, we've been on those shows before. Mm-hmm. And we almost got into the travel. We almost got into Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins, but the producer of the Travel Channel got their wires crossed. They wanted us to meet them at the what was the name of the hotel? The Union Hotel or something in Nevada City.
Oh, okay.
And they sent Zach and a team to Grass Valley. It was supposed to be Nevada City, but they gave him the wrong info.
Okay.
So we got there and waited, and so we finally called them. Said, oh, no, we wanted you guys in Grass Valley. Can you get there like right now? I said, it's like about 1 million counties away.
Yeah.
By the time we get there, it's gonna take us like about 1.5 hours just to get there. So now, but we did our own investigation while we were there. We didn't get anything. So, and a lot of those, Zach has been known to manufacture his own evidence. It's been proven actually that he manufactures his own, and then a lot of these producers at the end of these shows, well, ask for your evidence.
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters with Jason and Grant,
Yeah.
they refused to give to producers their evidence. Because Jason said, once you get, I said, what's going to stop you once you give you the evidence of manipulating what happened? Even if nothing happened, you guys are going to manipulate it to make it look like something happened, which is why you don't turn over your evidence to anybody.
Yeah, because they can edit it a certain way.
And we were going to be, before I got into the group that I'm with now, because the group that I'm with now, we're former investigators from different teams.
Yeah.
We all merged to get together. And before that, I was with another group. We were actually going to be a part of the original Ghost Hunters with Grant and Jason. We actually had a meeting with them like that. But the only problem was that we didn't like was that we had to investigate how they investigate, use their methodologies. Now we have our own way of investigating, but this and no, it has to be done our way. So we didn't go with them.
Huh, yeah, whenever, that's interesting if they'd want to control it that much. You said too, sometimes whenever you're investigating that you find a demon, how do you know whenever you have a demon versus like a ghost or something like that?
You can actually tell weird behavior changes. You can live in a property doesn't always have to be haunted. Sometimes it's the person that's haunted.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
too.
sometimes it's the land that's haunted. And we've had instances before where the land was actually haunted. Melissa's coworker lives in Natomas.
Yeah.
They worked together at the state for the state, and he was getting sick when he was on. He was getting headaches and all this stuff like that. He was irritable. He was snapping at his friends and his family. But when he left the house, he was perfectly fine. This went on for a while. He finally told Melissa about it. We investigated.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we walked in the house, we go, ooh, boy, there's something here. And we found out that, I didn't know about this, but Melissa did. We found out it was ley lines.
Okay.
If you know what ley lines are.
It's something about like the electrical grid of the earth.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Natomas was a big, massive Indian burial ground, which is actually built on top of. That's what the problem was.
No, that's almost like
all
the
the South Natomas. Yeah, that's what the ley lines are. It was to keep certain things out, but they went and built a town over it.
Yeah.
That's how the problem started.
Okay.
And I never asked what happened to him because he didn't want to move. He refused to move. And I never did ask what happened to him after that. So I think he's still there or something, but that's how you tell us when people's behavior change. If you live in the same household and you're at each other's throat, all of a sudden you leave the house, everything is cool, nothing happens. And then when you come back in the house, like that, and then what demons do is they like to use people against each other.
Yeah.
Because they're after that one person.
Gotcha.
So, and then we had that Ouija board case where they like to go after the weak, like the elderly, the sick, the elderly. And this 17-year-old girl and her friends one time, this was in, I think it was Tracy, just years ago. I'm getting them all run together because they've done so much of them.
Yeah.
But some of her friends had got together one night, drinking a bit, and they got the Ouija board out and started messing with it. We didn't know that until the end.
Mm.
At the end of the investigation, so me and my friends would, play with the Ouija board, and we did a animal sacrifice on top of it. We're going,
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
We didn't know that going in. They didn't tell us. She didn't tell us that.
Yeah.
I said, well, where is that Ouija board? They said, we're going to have to confiscate that and destroy it for you. And she wouldn't turn it over. So we couldn't really do anything. We couldn't force her. We couldn't do it. And then she had her dad lived with her. Her dad was like 90-something years old and not in great health. And she kept noticing her dad was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. He finally passed away.
Oh, damn.
A few months after because of that.
Because the thing was probably feeding off of him or something.
And we told her that it's going to go after the elderly. They said, well, I know some of my dad is getting worse. I said, well, yeah, you either need to permanently get rid of that Ouija board, or your dad's going to have to go live somewhere else, or you're going to have to live somewhere else. And we just flat out bluntly told them that, you know. And we've had a couple of cases like that where,
Yeah.
you know, people said, well, what do we need to do to get rid of it? I said, well, to be blunt with you, get the fuck out.
So do they get?
Yeah, I said it just like that. I said, get the fuck out.
So do the demon things get attached to the Ouija board, or because what does getting rid of it or destroying that do?
The sacrifice didn't help, and when they didn't close the session.
Right.
They just left. They said you got to close your session. When we do communication, we always close the session. Thank them for talking to us and then telling us about what happened to you. Things that we always close in, and then we always say that. So you are not allowed to attach to the investigators. You are not allowed to attach to the occupants of the home. You are not allowed to attach to our equipment. And we always said that we thank them for, you know, coming out to talk to us and telling us about their story. And then we always bless the house before we leave. And sometimes we'll bless the people. Because we've had a lot of cases where it was the people that would bring something in. And a lot of that is that when some people are hanging around negative people, that's how it starts. Mm-hmm. Something attaches, and when they come home, they bring it home, and they don't know it, and then they wind up calling us, and we have to get rid of it. So that's what we'll show people. I said, try to keep your friendship circle positive. You know, don't hang out with negativity or negative people, because, you know, that's how it starts. And we did one case that was real scary too. I wasn't on this one, but we found out the guy that was in Satanism and devil worship.
Oh, damn.
He didn't tell us. We found out later because he excused himself for a while. Then a videographer saw him on his computer, and she was looking at him. She filmed it, and he was on a satanic website.
Oh, damn. Like,
and he's had a history of Satanism and demonic worship before, and the family had noticed that. He wouldn't say anything, and they didn't tell us after like almost the end. And I asked about that a while back. I said, what happened with that case? I said, it was like a year later. So whatever happened to that devil worship satanic guy? I said, I don't know, he's still doing it.
So he's got to have like just a bunch of bad stuff like around him, I guess.
This has been about 10 years, so I don't know what happened to him.
Okay. So what was it? He was trying to bring you guys in to kind of clear the place out? But
yeah, they were having, the family was noticing weird activities, so they brought us in. It wasn't really him. Because the family had no clue he was doing that.
Yeah.
And we found out that he was doing that.
And then
he wouldn't admit it. He did not disclose anything.
And then you're like, okay, that's probably what's causing all this weird stuff to go on in the house.
Yeah. I wasn't at that one. No. Our service area is, we'll travel 2 hours as part of our service area. We've done investigations in Reno, LA. The team did one in LA. It was just Brent and Melissa that went to that one because they paid for everybody to go. They wouldn't pay for the whole team, just those two, which was fine with us to go to LA because that's out of our service area.
Okay.
Because we've done places in the mountains before. I don't remember where this one was, but it was somewhere up in the mountains. There was a weird area where a guy lived there with his son and daughter, I think it was, and the middle of the forest is a beautiful place, and part of the forest, nothing grew. It was like a big empty spot where like a UFO landed.
Huh.
He said, nothing grows here.
Did he say anything it landed there before?
No, he doesn't know. He said, well, when you...
it was just like a big orchard almost.
Well, yeah,
like,
so when you walk in here, you'll feel weird. So we walked in there, and we felt weird. He said, look over here. I mean, nothing grows here. Trees don't even grow here. It was just like a big, round patch of just nothing.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure that out. We took pictures, we analyzed it, we don't know what it is.
Oh,
we just left it at that, but he just said, well, you know, I just wanted to show you that it's really weird in there. I mean, I've tried to, you know, plant something here, it just doesn't work. But he had some activity in the house, which we fixed. So then he had us, stay for dinner, we barbecued, because he was a hunter, and he opened up his freezer and shitload of meat. So that was sometimes these people actually will feed us.
Yeah, that's just good when you can get a good meal like that.
And some of these investigators become our fans, and when we have our own page, we're called a Spirit, Sacramento Paranormal Intuitive Research Investigation Team. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and a lot of those people that we investigate become our fans, and they follow us wherever we go. They watch all our videos. We have our own YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
It's called our videographer is Wendy Maxim. Her video channel is Maxim's Mystery on YouTube, and all our investigations are on there.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of scary shit. And we went to one place where friends live up in the mountains. It was we were hearing disembodied voices. I mean, this is the area where Juan Corona. Remember Juan Corona? He was killing all the farm workers.
No, I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, he was in prison for. He recently passed away, but he never.
Oh, so this was like a serial killer kind of thing. I thought it was something like way back in the day.
They got him. He was in prison, but he never said where he buried the bodies.
But he was. I'll have to look this dude up. Juan Corona.
Yeah, well, he's dead now, but
he was killing people in the 80s or something.
All the migrant farm workers in that real Linda Tracy area.
Damn, that's
in
crazy.
There, all over, and so we don't know how many people he's killed. He will not say where the bodies are. So we investigated over there, and we were hearing disembodied voices, and I saw figures rustling through the bushes, and we were out there investigating, and there was a tree with a rope hanging down. I stopped to look at it. I said, "What are you looking at?" I says, "The rope is going like this." I said, "Why? Tell me why the rope is swinging. There is no wind," and it was going like this.
Oh, damn.
So we walked further, and then we heard a female voice, "Help me! Help me!" And there's like a bunch of male voices, "Help me!" I said, "Where you at? We're coming to you right now. Help me, help! I need help!" And then we kept walking and walking. We couldn't find it. We called the sheriff's department. There was a road down there which we couldn't get to because it was a hill, like a cliff. So we called the sheriff's department. They went down there. They didn't find anything. Then after the sheriff's department left, same thing, "Help, help me, help!"
Oh, damn, they started hollering again.
Oh, yeah, and then there was a. It said, this is one female voice. I said, no. I heard like 2 or 3 male voices with her. We didn't want to. People were seeing shadow figures. I saw some figures that ran through the bushes, and we saw like entities. That was like the scariest case we've ever been. That was it. We had that one on YouTube.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. That was like the scariest one we've been on.
And what did the cops and the sheriff say whenever they were there?
Nothing. They couldn't find it.
And they were just like, what? They just left. They were like,
yeah, they just left. I said, well, we're paranormal investigators, and they're open to it. So they said, yeah, you guys are nuts, and they left. I said, no. I said, they investigated. We told them exactly where it came from. I said, there's nothing there. And then after it left, it started again.
Huh. That's pretty wild.
We had a couple of our investigators just kind of fucking ran out in the yard taking pictures, and they heard it, and then they ran into the house and got us. We all went out there, and that's when hell broke loose.
What happened there?
Oh, we were hearing voices. People were seeing the bushes rustle like this, and they're like, we were seeing figures. I mean, the shadow figure walking through. We actually saw the actual transparent figures walking through the bushes like that, and the shakers hiding behind the trees. So after a while, it just stopped. Okay,
yeah, that's pretty wild, man. I've never had anything crazy like that. Like, the only thing I ever had was taking pictures at a spot that was haunted, and I've seen orbs there. I've only ever seen orbs in that spot whenever I've taken photos. I don't think I've ever had orbs anywhere else. And
there's probably some activity in that spot. There was
it was a haunted spot. It was Lake Shawnee. We had the car shut down. I told this story before. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but the car shut down. The phones, all the electric in the phones went off, and like we didn't realize that until because we thought we were being chased for a minute. But the car battery shut down. Oh, it was crazy after like that one. But that's only that spot. Lake Shawnee's the only one I've ever had where I've got orbs. I don't think I've ever got orbs anywhere else taking photos.
Old Sac is really haunted. I was out there.
Yeah, I've heard
one year,
that.
and Christmas night, the thing, go over and take pictures, and on my camera, all these orbs show. The Fanny Ann's. There's a booth in there where the spirit sits next to you all the time.
Oh.
It's still in there. It's got to be one of the most haunted. And then we were like one of the first people to go down into underground Old Sac.
Yeah.
It wasn't even open yet. There's actually a Ghost Adventures where he goes down. And we actually got him in there. But when he came to do that, he didn't tell anybody. He just did it. So you can't do any guerrilla investigating. You gotta get permission.
Yeah.
So he actually found somebody connected with OSAC that let him in down there, but he didn't tell anybody. They were trying to get down there without telling anybody, and then they were gonna open up to the public when they first got down there, but they found human remains, so they closed it down.
Oh damn! Because they didn't know how soon they could have been.
Yeah, and then they were analyzed, and they found out that it was Native American, and some of them were Chinese.
Oh shit!
They're working on the railroad, so I said, just leave them there.
Yeah.
So now it's open to the public, and then there is a lot of activity down there.
Yeah, no, I've heard old Sacramento has a lot. I've never had any, as far as I know, any kind of.
I've had a few there. Evangeline's, they have a storm over there. The girl doesn't work there anymore, but she said she went back there. Something scared the crap out of her. She refused to go back there.
Oh yeah.
She said, I'll come to work, but I ain't going back there.
Back in the shop.
Yeah. So and then Locke is another place.
Where's that?
It's on the river.
Oh, okay.
It was a town that was just built for the Chinese people that when they came here to work.
Yeah.
But they had the Tong, the gang that came to run the town. They had prostitutes, and they were killing the prostitutes. And to get rid of them, they would throw in the river.
Oh,
so if you go to that part of the river and investigate, there's tons of activity there. It's a lot of Dyer Road.
That's what I was going to say. I've heard it. Is it Dyer Lane, Dyer Road?
Dyer Road.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
We were going to do an investigation there one year. We had to cancel it because Aftershock was playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we couldn't do it that year, but there's a lot of people that go to Dyer Lane, and I happened to be on YouTube last night where I saw like 3 or 4 different videos about Dyer Lane. I said, yeah, it's haunted. It is.
Yeah, because like now, what makes it so haunted? I've heard different things like that. It was like that. I don't know. They used to hang people there back in the day.
Probably. There's
that.
Probably car accidents. I think it's I've been down the road like once in a day, but I guess it's a dark road, a dangerous road or something like that.
Yeah, it's dark at
I hear all
night.
kinds of stories. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I know it's haunted as hell. And then, because I was going to ask you about that, I wanted to like write that down. And then they said like Placerville or like Hangtown's like really haunted.
Yeah, we have so many people that want to come on investigations with us, but we tell them that. Well, a lot of the places we investigate at residences, and they don't want 1 million people tromping through their home. We're a team of 4.
Right.
And I said, we have scouting missions. We haven't planned any scouting missions in a while, but pre-pandemic, we had a scouting mission to Placerville, Coloma. It'd be like $20. You can come with us. We show you how to do it.
Yeah.
We got a few activities. Had lunch over there. We went to a couple of haunted places over there. But yeah, there's a lot of haunted places in Placerville. Hangman's Tree.
Okay.
We couldn't investigate there because they were renovating it. That's not the bar or something with the hangman that's in the front on the sign.
Oh, okay.
Hangman's Tree. We just talked to the locals over there, and they got all kinds of stories. If you go to a lot of the local mines there.
Yeah, and then so Hangman's Tree, that's the bar, but is that where they used to have the tree where they hung everybody? Or?
I don't know what the whole story was.
Okay.
But yeah, this has a reputation for being one of the most active places. And then when we went down there, we couldn't investigate because they had scaffolding in the front because they were remodeling it. So they won't let us in there.
Gotcha. And then what's the other place? It might be in Nevada technically, but is it what? Silver City, Union City, something like that?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Union City?
I think it's Union City.
But it's kind of like a ghost town at night, or what? Like a legitimate ghost town, no one's there, but it's also supposedly haunted as hell if you're there.
Bodie's another one.
I haven't heard of that one.
The Marysville Hotel.
Okay.
It's really haunted. Nobody's allowed in there anymore because it's condemned. It's deemed it unsafe. And people have gone in there to investigate, but they kind of broke in. You don't want to do that.
Yeah,
you want to get permission. And one of our good friends has a paranormal team over there. She tried to get us into it. She said, I've been there before. She's been a whole bunch of times. She lives in Marysville. Yeah. And I said, well, no, they're not letting anybody in anymore because it's condemned and it's unsafe. So we couldn't get in there. But people that have gone in there have picked up a lot of stuff. Preston Castle in Ione.
Maybe I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's haunted over there. Who was there? Rochester. Remember Rochester from the Jack Benny show? The butler?
Yeah.
He was incarcerated there.
Okay.
Who else was? A couple of famous actors were incarcerated there. It was
Damn, really? I didn't know that.
It was a boys' detention camp.
All right.
And back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, I think they finally closed in 1960 something. And there is a prison there. It's Mule Cake Prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still active because the guy that karate with used to work over there, he knows about Preston Castle. And it's a creepy place. Every year they have a haunted house attraction there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then it's a historical landmark now. They finally made a historical landmark. The city of Bayonne wanted nothing to do with that place because there was an eyesore. If you drive close to it, you'll see it on the top of the hill. It looks like the sky. It looks like the Sacco House. But yeah, it's falling apart.
Oh,
they're trying to do fundraisers to renovate it, and the city just wanted it to eventually fall down because it's starting to fall down now.
Oh, so they could just sell the land, I guess.
Yeah, and then when you go in there, certain parts you're not allowed to go into because you'll fall through the floor. You know the movie Great Escape with Steve McQueen?
Yeah.
You know the infirmary scene?
I think I have to watch it. Yeah.
There was a scene that took place in the infirmary. That was filmed in Preston Castle.
Oh, it was? Okay.
And if you go to the infirmary, it's all fixed up nice, and they actually left the props, and there's like wheelchairs and hospital beds. That's all from the movie. They just left it there. Yeah. So it's kind of weird they went there to film that movie.
Yeah, no, whenever they film stuff, they could shoot in one location, and then those close-up shots, whatever they need for whatever. It's like, all right, well, we'll shoot it.
Yeah, I had great Scott. I should watch that and watch this one and say, I didn't know that. I thought they just renovated it first of all because they want to renovate it, make it a bed and breakfast inn, and then parts of it for maybe like a senior thing. But they gotta have the money to do that. They have fundraisers because the city's not really backing it. They just don't want it there. But now it's a historical landmark, so they can't touch it now.
Oh, damn.
So
yeah, then you're just kind of waiting it because you can't even like remodel anything, I guess, if it's a historical.
Yeah, they are now. Yeah, they're renovating it now.
Oh, they are. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It is a historical landmark, so they are allowed to renovate it. And then the Dorothy Puente house.
Oh yeah. Where it's haunted as hell.
Still haunted.
Oh yeah, I could believe that. I remember I was watching
the couple that live there now actually have tours. They have a mannequin of her standing in the lawn. I know. I mean, there are more bodies there. I mean, what did she say? She only said that how many? I can't remember how many.
It was like 6 to 8. So I think it's 8 bodies.
They
or
think that there's way more that she's dead now, but they said we don't want to just excavate the whole entire property.
What do you think she did with those bodies? Well, because they suspected she had help from somebody. Because like she'd either get rid of the hands or she'd get rid of something, but they were
that's why she chopped them up because she was old. She couldn't physically pick up somebody like you or me and just toss them somewhere. But
because
where she buried them, they know there's more.
Really? Because it was all in the backyard, but then they were like not sure if like they were like she had to have help from somebody probably, but it's like I don't know, but her whole thing is pretty nuts too.
Yeah, I heard that she was doing that for like years. And then there's the Martinez house.
Now, what's that one?
It's on, where is it, 22nd and I, something like that. It's actually called the Martinez house because the families lived there were named Martinez, but there are actually people that live there.
Yeah.
It's really active, and they used to let people go in and investigate, but now you can't because the people that live there, so they won't let you in anymore. Gotcha.
But what happened there? Was someone murdered or?
I think so. I heard different stories of what went on over there. Usually, if something tragic happened in there, it's gonna linger. And I've gone to places like that before where I like put a hand on a tree and go, "Oh shit!" Something happened by this tree, and it was. I don't remember what it was, but it was a tree that had a branch like this. We found out later it was a hanging tree.
Shit.
Put your hand in it and people are hung from there. That's why it gave off that weird energy.
Yeah, I saw that.
They had chickens and shit like that. The chickens would not go near that tree.
Really? Shit.
Yeah. They sense it now. Animals are like dogs and cats are really sensitive to that. And we've used animals before. Yeah. And they picked up stuff. I mean, my cat sees shit all the time. He go and take off running. He said, since my dad died in the house, my grandma, my mom, my grandpa. They're all in the house. We're walking around, so he sees them. My dad likes to hang out in the hallway. And did you ever go to Trader Joe's on Folsom Boulevard?
I'm sure I have, but I haven't gone there.
By Save Mart?
Yeah, well, I used to live down that way. I'd go down. I'd be down there.
That place is haunted. It used to be a convalescent home.
Oh, what? An old person home?
Yeah, and if you go into that store, you have the wine department in the restroom. There's entities, there's activity there. There are a bunch of entities there that like to hang out. And the people that work there know about it. I asked them if we can do an investigation in there, and I said, well, we can ask, but the owners aren't really into that kind of thing, and they don't want people coming in after hours or something like that. But, yeah, a lot of the employees know it's haunted because they've actually seen it. They've actually seen stuff back there. They've heard stuff back there. I've gone to the restroom in there. I've heard stuff.
Yeah, like I say, I know I've been into some places that are haunted. Like I said, I've had like one or two experiences, but there's been, like when I was in the theater and all that, like I was told that place was haunted, but I never had any experience like that there.
The Woodland Opera House is haunted.
I've heard that one.
Yeah, everybody knows that. You see the guy on the scaffolding on the wall, and all the actors that performed there have seen it. The staff have seen it. The Colonial Theater on Stockton Boulevard. Cheryl was doing Addams Family.
Oh yeah.
Over there. So a bunch of us were downstairs. The girls were upstairs in their dressing room getting ready. Mm-hmm. And one of the girls came running down and says, well, were you guys knocking on the door and ringing around up there? I said, no, we've been down here the whole time. She goes, oh shit. We heard somebody come up the stairs and was knocking on the door. No, we've been, so I told you this place was haunted. No, we've been down here the whole time. The Sierra 2 Community Center off of by the old DMV on Broadway, 24th there is haunted. Runaway Stage Productions used to use the theater there. And so late at night, you hear stuff, and there's two kids that like to run up and down the hall. There's a guy that hangs around in the stage area, and there's a little girl. I can't remember what her name is, but at certain times of the night, if you call her name, she'll turn the faucets on.
Really?
Yeah, and we've seen that happen and flush the toilet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then the girl that used to come in and do lighting, after we all left about 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, she was there by herself, and she said, I've seen it, I've heard it, I've seen the kids run around. You know, I've used the bathroom and I've seen the faucets turn on, so it's not scared.
Yeah, like I say, I haven't had
the people that actually run that place know too. And then I talked to them about an investigation. They said, you know, we would love to do that, but they just switched managements over here. And she said the manager that runs that, she goes, she's a bitch. She's not gonna want that.
yeah. That's oh shoot. I thought there was something else I was getting ready to like. Oh no. I'm gonna say, because I know you mentioned something about like ghosts of animals. I've only ever, I think, once seen. This was back in West Virginia, and my ex, she had a cat, but she never had it there, and I never really noticed it that much. But I remember, like one day we were watching TV or something. Every now and then at the apartment that I had, she still had an apartment in the other end of the state where the cat was. But every now and then I would notice like the shadow of like a black cat or something out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And one time I noticed it in the kitchen. I looked over and she was like, "You noticed that too?" So I've seen like the ghost of a cat like once. I mean, I saw the ghost like a couple of times, but I mean like really only like once.
Yeah,
in like
Sean
one place.
and I were in an investigation somewhere. We were taking pictures.
Yeah.
And we were just taking pictures of all, and we did this. And the homeowner goes, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Well, I didn't want to step on the cat." No. And she goes, "We don't own a cat, but we just saw one walking between our legs."
Yeah.
She goes,
"Yeah, I know they can be trippy."
But you know, people think it's fun to be a ghost. It is. We have a good time doing it, but it's dangerous at the same. People have died doing this.
Yeah.
You know, like Gettysburg is like one of the most haunted places. You were just allowed to you can just go over and just investigate. Nobody gave a shit. But now they charge $100 a person because so many ghost hunters from all over the world have gone there to investigate. So they just got tired of it because it's a historical site. And people are just tromping all over it.
Oh yeah.
So they're actually charging people now. And you actually have to I think you have to let them know ahead of time to get permission before you go into
If
it.
you want to go ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Now, see, I was there with my grandparents when I was a kid, just as a historical thing. We had a tour guide and all that. I never did any kind of like night.
I would love to go to Gettysburg. Little Bighorn is another. I love historical sites. I'd love to go to Little Bighorn. There's been activity there.
So, I believe that. That's like a big
I believe
battle,
that too. Yeah.
Well, on both sides, dude. That was a lot of carnage.
There was a lot of carnage, and 3,000 Braves against a little over 300 troopers, and the battle lasted 2 days.
Yeah.
In the middle of June, it was hotter than hell.
Oh yeah, especially up there in like those plains areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was flat. I mean, there was actually no cover, and all the little white headstones, they just put the markers there because they just buried them where the bodies were.
Yeah.
And then they were dismembered and stripped, and they didn't go back to the battle site till like a year later, and there was all bones.
Oh yeah, of course it was going to be. It'd be.
There actually. I think there were some people that actually went back a few months later. By that time, it was winter. It was snow already, so they couldn't get over there. But they went back, and some people went back in the spring, and they said some of the bodies were just were decomposing.
Yeah,
but by the time they got back there a year later, it was all bones already, even the horses and everything. So I think, just gathered it up, and I can't remember what they did. I think just they gave him a mass grave. Custer was actually buried where he fell, but they actually took him out, and then they reinterred him at the military academy somewhere. I mean, the guy was an idiot to begin with.
Yeah.
That's gone down in history as one of the military's greatest blunders.
Right.
He wasn't even. I mean, he was on top of the hill watching a battle, from what I hear.
Yeah, I can't remember like a whole lot about that because I thought he ended up in the battle at some point.
He did end up at the battle at some point. He died at Last Stand Hill.
Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't retreat at that point. It's like, all right, well, you're gonna have to just lick your
his headstone is black to mark Custer. George Custer fell here.
Yeah.
And it's outlined in black, so you know it's him. It's on Last Stand Hill. He's like one of the last 100 or something, or 30 or 40, something like that. Yeah, they should have. I mean, I watch a lot of that stuff because I like history, and I watched I watched it on YouTube, and it said this is the true story. Some of those people that are still alive to this day, not many, and they're like in their 90s now. That were actually there. They actually got an eyewitness statement from a guy that was actually at the Little Bighorn.
I don't think they'd be alive now because that was like 1890 something like that.
Yeah, but there was actually Indian Braves they gave a statement that said this is from what happened from our point of view.
Yeah.
But a couple of two of the survivors, they were like 90-something years old when they told their story.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. They witnessed the whole thing, and they said this is not what you read in the history books. I was there. This is what happened.
Right.
So, Custer's brother died in it. So I would love to go to that battlefield and just to see it.
Yeah, like all those like
Gettysburg, just to see it. I want to go just to see it. The Texas Book Depository. I want just to see it. Just to see it. I heard there's a museum in there now. I've never been there.
Where the Texas Depository?
Yeah, where Kennedy was. I've never been there. Just to see it. In the Holocaust Museum in D.C. I would just like to just.
Yeah, no, I've been there to see that. Yeah, it was heavy. If I ever go to like Germany or over, I'd like to go to like see some of the concentration camps, just like because it's like fuck, this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dachau, and they're all still there.
Yeah, no, they are. The Germans were like, nah, we don't want to forget. We want to like make sure this evil is not done again. You know?
Yeah, none of them went to prison. The United States government hired them all.
Yeah, a good amount. Like I think they only killed at the Nuremberg trials. Only a few people were.
Werner Braun was an SS doctor.
Right.
He became the head of NASA.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them that they hired, and it was either they went to NASA or some of the Soviets got them.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen again. At the rate we're going, it might. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope not. Damn. Oh shit.
But yeah, there was another. Getting back to the paranormal, fairies exist. I took a picture of a fairy. Worth to speak.
All right, tell me a little bit about that.
Moss Beach Distillery.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly where that was. Richard Gere filmed a movie there. It's called American Geisha.
Okay.
And there's like a lady in red or something that appears on the sand dunes on a foggy night. There's actually a plaque on the restaurant that says that.
Yeah.
And some people have seen her. I went outside. A couple of us went outside just certain times of the night you'll see her, but I didn't see anything that night.
And it's a fairy.
No, it's actually a real person. A lady that died there was murdered there.
Oh, so it's a ghost. It's a ghost that shows up there.
But the whole staff knows about it. In fact, ghost hunters went there. And they found out that it was fake. They had paranormal props. You know, they said the glasses shook like they found the motor in there that the restaurant. You go to the restroom and ghost face pops up. They found that it was a camera projection unit.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it more for the tourists. They're trying to get more business.
Yeah.
And he actually told him, they said, "Well, we found all your props that makes the shit work." So he said, basically, we just wasted our time coming here. So, well, we kind of do that for the tourists and get more business. He said, well, we actually fixed them for you.
We actually...
Because a couple of them weren't working. But anyway, in the forested areas where Richard Gere was, and then I have a picture of it. It's on my computer.
Yeah. And
I didn't know this. I had the picture of my camera for 5 years. I showed it to somebody and said, wow, there's somebody standing there against the tree. I looked there and goes, I zoomed in, I go, oh shit! I've had this picture for 5 years, I never noticed that.
And it's the lady?
No, it's just a black outline.
Mm.
And then there's actually a trail of flames like this with wings.
Interesting.
And so what is this? And that's a fairy. And then as we were walking through there, we saw these little mounds look like GoPros. They're fairy mounds.
I've never heard of like that.
Yeah, and then a couple of our investigators were rustling through the bushes and they saw little fairies. And we saw them. We go, okay, cool. We tried to take pictures of them. We couldn't get out. But I got a picture of one. I accidentally got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, okay, I've heard of people saying that like fairies are real and they've seen them. I've never had any kind of experiences with them. But I don't know. I'm open to like stuff like that because I don't know. I think the supernatural is cool. But what's your thoughts on like the dog man or anything? Have you heard about that?
I have. A guy I did a show with.
Yeah.
Lived in West Sac somewhere. And he said, we were talking about paranormal. I said, hey, you guys hear about fairies? I said, well, they're real. I said, I know they are. I said, well, in my house, in my closet, there's these little mounds, and they're fairy mounds. And he's seen them.
Oh, yeah?
And I lost touch with them, but somewhere here in West Sac. But yeah, the dog man, and then there's the one that was in Virginia.
Oh, the Mothman?
Mothman. He was actually, he was in Sacramento.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, there was a show called Monsters in America.
Yeah.
That story came on. There was a photographer on the other side of the river taking pictures towards Old Sac. He wanted to get a picture of Old Sac and the bridge at night.
Yeah.
And he saw something black flopping. He landed on top of our funky looking gold bridge. And he took a picture of it. And it flew away. It was a Mothman.
Huh.
It's documented.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, I've never seen the picture, but he said he saw it. He said it was huge. And the only time a Mothman's ever sighted is when disaster is going to happen.
Yeah.
So we know that's real. Sasquatch. I've been on Bigfoot expeditions. Never seen one.
I've heard knocking in the woods once out here, but it's only ever been once. It was at night. I'd come up out of Auburn. We were just going to camp in the car. And like sun was setting. I heard like knocking, but there was no response to it or anything. It just knocked once, and then that was it.
Probably paranormal. I'm sure if it was somebody fucking with you, you would have known.
Yeah, because in the area, I was like, no one's going to be camping out down there. So it didn't seem like someone messing around. And it wasn't anywhere near us. It was like down in the thing. It was coming from like far out, like that way. You know what I mean? So it was no one near us.
The forests are really, they've sighted monsters out there. I mean, you watch all these monsters shows, Monsters in America. They're all true incidents that people have seen.
Yeah. No, I'm believing like some for sure. Because in West Virginia, when I was a kid, I never heard anyone really talk about it much. And this was before Dogman or anything. This is probably like early 2000s or whatever. I mean, I remember being at a friend's house, and there was like a trailer park area. And West Virginia's got woods like all over the place.
I know.
You know what I mean? So you're in like a neighborhood, you still have like woods nearby. But I remember one of the kids was like, "Oh yeah, there's like a wolf man or something that's in these woods at night or something." And in hindsight now, I don't know if one of the neighbors could have been messing with him, but I remember we were hanging out with one of the neighbors who was probably like 20. Again, we were like kids or like 10 or
God, I
something
can't
like
think of
that.
any of those names anymore. But yeah,
But real quick, like we either throw something out in the woods or we do something in the woods. It's not far into it. We're still by there. But I remember the dude was like, he's like, I'm getting out. He's like, I don't stay in these woods out at night. He's like, something's out here.
sounds like that story about the Pine Barrens.
I wonder if I've heard this one about the Pine Barrens.
There's supposed to be like a dog man, wolf man lives out there.
I know in New Jersey there's supposed to be the Leeds devil or something like that, but I know
That's all. It's been seen. It's been cited.
maybe, I don't
Nobody's
know.
got a picture, a photo of it, but they've had
Is this-
witnesses that actually drew it.
And this is where's this at? Where's the Pine
Pine
Barrens?
Barrens is in New Jersey.
Okay, I know that's like where the
Yeah.
Leeds devil's supposed to
He's
be.
supposed to be like a dog man or a wolf man or some kind of a devil thing.
I know
Yeah.
the Leeds devil's supposed to be there, but the dogman I first heard of was the Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that.
then, and then after that, it seemed like almost a decade after that, he kind of became like reported elsewhere, and I'm like, I don't know what these things are. To me, I have fun with it, you know, until I see
That's
it.
what
I'm
they tell
like,
you.
yeah.
If don't go to the Pine Barrens at night.
Yeah. To me, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some sort of weird creature or something out there somehow that they break through the veil or whatever it is, you know?
Undocumented. Yeah, in Vietnam, you know, I was almost there. There are people out there that were see rustling in the bushes and they just open fire. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden a creature comes out. They're going, what the fuck is that? Never seen undocumented. There's been so much weird creatures that nobody's ever seen in those jungles out there.
Oh, yeah. I
And all the
believe that.
gunfire, they just come out.
Right, yeah, they hear a bunch of stuff.
But yeah, things is people just need to. People don't believe it, but they need to stay open. So,
Yeah.
how do we know? I mean, and, you know, there are parts in the forest all over this country and all over the world that have never been explored because you can't, because it's inaccessible. There could be
Yeah.
things living in there we don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Same as like with the ocean and all that. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
not that much has been explored. And
Well, the ocean is haunted. The Sacramento River's really haunted. No, we've investigated that ghost boy that was there.
Ghost Boy. Well,
Yeah.
tell me about this one.
He, every once in a while, a certain part, I can't remember what part of the river it was, but every once in a while, on the bank, you see a ghost boy fishing. And I can't remember the story of what happened, but there are a few people that do know about it. And they said that certain times, you know, you'll see them, and they give you like a specific time, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And the people that actually have seen them don't say anything because they think they're loony, you know, like any of this shit.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
see something, you're like, is my mind playing tricks on me, or am I really seeing?
You know, I've been on a
Ghosts.
Sasquatch hunt. I've been on chupacabra ones. Never saw a Sasquatch, and I've talked to people that actually see them, and they said, "You don't want to see them. Trust me, you do not want to see one in person."
They're just like that spooky.
Yeah.
Whenever they see them. A friend of mine told me, I looked this up and didn't see it, but I'm like, if Sasquatch did want anything, this makes sense. But there's I don't know how true it was, but some lady apparently said that it was like a Sasquatch would come see her, and it would speak some English, but it would always be like it wanted tobacco and sugar or something like
I've
that.
heard that. I don't know if that's true or not.
Now, have you heard about the Sierra Sounds or whatever that is? Where it was like, when I first heard it, I didn't believe it, but now I do after hearing the people's story. But it's like they're hunters up in the mountains, and then it's like they started hearing, it's like, do you hear that? And it's like they started recording these like whoops, and they're making all these whoop
I
sounds.
haven't heard that one, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I'll send that one to if I like hear.
Hunters
yeah,
are some of the best ones to talk to because they go to places where nobody goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then apparently that Mount Shasta's got a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah, the rumor has it that there's a UFO base behind Shasta.
Yeah, I've
And
heard that one
been,
too.
if you talk to the locals, some of them, they'll say, yeah, it's there. I said, dude, weird shit that happens. Another investigator that we used to investigate with, he went up to Shasta for an investigation. Was that an investigation? Yeah, I think it was an investigation. He took a psychic along with him. And they went to the hotel.
Yeah.
He was gonna. Let's tell you how the story go. And he got to the hotel. He was by himself. We went to go knock on the door to get an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, said, "Why are you knocking on my door for? I'm not there." He said, I just saw you walk in just a little while ago. She said, "No, I was never there. I've been here all day." This is a Shasta.
Yes, like the whole town's got like something crazy going on.
There's a lot of Sasquatch activity. Sasquatch is usually associated with UFOs. I've seen UFOs.
I've heard that a lot
close encounter of a
recently.
second kind.
Yeah.
So our family used to go up in the mountains, a little place on the Highway 49 called Sardine Lakes, and we used to rent a cabin.
Yeah.
There's a little lake in there. We used to rent a boat, and we were out there in the dark fishing. 3 times this actually happened. We saw this something sky change. We just see something flying over, hovering us, and we're going, "Oh damn, it's a UFO! Hi, take us off this rock." So that was in that area all the time.
Yeah. No, recently I think that I saw a UFO, and this is the only one I've seen that I'd say could be like that. It was on this street. I was coming back from Rayleigh's, and at night, like the way this street is, like there's nothing really blocking your view, and the sky's wide open. And I just remember driving down, not thinking anything of it. I look up and I'm see what looks like Venus. You know how Venus or Saturn kind of glows? I look up, I'm like, that must be Venus or Saturn right there. I look down, and then I look up and it's gone. It wasn't moving or anything. That's the closest thing I've had to, because it was bright enough. Again, like I'm not looking at it thinking this is a UFO. I just glanced up and was like, oh, okay, it looks like Venus
a lot of
or Jupiter's right there.
Military bases attract a lot of UFOs. I think I was on Highway 50 one time. We're coming back from somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And right when we got to Aerojet, I just happened to look up, and then it looked like lightning just went, and it was gone. I said, "Oh shit!" And she said, "No, what?" I then just saw a UFO. I said, "Nah." I said, "Well, they went to look at it. I said, look like lightning, but not." I said, maybe it was a plane. I said, "No, airplanes fly straight. They don't go like this." It went like a check mark, and it was just gone. Right. I wasn't even looking. I just happened to look up. I think I was kind of dozing off, and then I just opened my eyes, and I was just happened to look up at the sky, and I saw him go, "Oh shit."
Yeah, just enough.
And I go, "Oh shit," like that, and the guy just swerved the car. And we had just drove by Aerojet.
Yeah, I never know if it's like us that has some equipment or if they come in to watch or whatnot. But no, like I said, after seeing that one, I'm like, I could believe there's some like UFOs out there for sure. But like,
they've been coming for centuries. I mean, there's tales from the 1800s in the West.
Right.
There's actually I was watching some show. It was one of those paranormal monster shows on Discovery Channel in the 1880s. Some miners found a pterodactyl, and they're posing by it. They're holding the wings out.
I haven't seen this one, I don't think.
Yeah, it was a still photo. But they didn't know what it was, And just like the Sasquatch thing, I mean, there's more than one. How can they survive all these years? My thing is, you got to kill one to produce the carcass, and people believe you.
Yeah, really.
Well, that's hard. They don't like people. We may be afraid of it, but they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
True. Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Is they're more skittish of us?
Yeah, just like wolves. People think that wolves attack people. No, the wolves are afraid of people. If we happen to see a wolf, we just happen to be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But they don't attack. They run away.
Yeah, they're not usually ones to attack. A mountain lion, maybe. You see one of those, they're kind of dangerous.
I've seen bobcats. I've seen bears.
Yeah. I've never seen a bear out in the woods. I've seen a mountain lion.
I've seen a black bear in the woods. There's a baby, though.
Mm.
But I didn't mess with it. I knew Mama had to be
I would say that's like, don't worry about the babies. Just where's the mom at?
Yeah.
She's got to be lurking.
Yeah. But yeah, paranormal is, tomorrow's our investigation light. We don't get many of them anymore. But actually, most of them are reading now, because Melissa's really good at reading.
Oh, okay.
So she's an empathetic medium. She's also an empath, which means she's a healer.
Yeah.
So when we do an investigation, the guy, some person may pass away, like maybe has a kidney infection, and she'll feel it. I said, does somebody here have a kidney problem? Because she's feeling it. She goes, yeah. He said, oh, like my uncle's got kidney infection. She goes, well, I'm feeling it.
Even if he's not in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what she picks up, man. We can usually, I mean, I've seen it before. I can usually walk into an investigation when we do it at somebody's home and go, oh, okay, there's a ghost that just answered your door. So most of them are familiar, they're friendly, they're family members, they're just protecting you, looking out for you. But every once in a while, and then you also get the bad entities that will disguise themselves as kids to get you to kind of let your guard down.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so you gotta be aware of that. So you have to. Well, we've encountered that before. I've had things touch me. I've had my arm. I got bruises on one arm like this where they dug in.
And it's always usually.
I got attacked. I had one. I was in a big, heavy reclining chair, and the chair got lifted up, and I was thrown about 20 feet. I landed in the closet.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man.
This was a real bad entity. I wouldn't say it was demonic, but it was being haunted by not too nice people.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not too nice ghosts. The whole family was experiencing it, and we were hearing doors slam. And when they did, this is with the group that I used to be with, and he was blessing the house, and he wanted everybody out of the house, and we were standing there just waiting. He said, after it was over, he said, hey, why you guys slamming all the doors? I said, we weren't slamming any doors. So we heard doors slam out here. We saw the garage go up and down. I said, no, that wasn't us.
Yeah, it's like, that's definitely got to be one of the ghosts or something. Like,
Yeah.
You know? It's always one of those ghosts where it's just wanting the people out of the house more or less.
Yeah, a lot of them are angry spirits. I mean, you know, if the person was angry when he was alive, and he would be angry in death.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's still pissed off even then.
Yeah, I mean, we found one place we investigated was a wall that had paneling.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was kind of strange because it was cut like a door, and they had a latch here, but there was no latch on the inside.
Yeah.
So I opened it and went up there, and they said, "What's up?" This we never go up there. There were stairs going up to a spare bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I came down and I kind of looked it over and talked to everybody. I'm going, something is not right. I said, why are they walling in a stair in a bedroom, and you've got a latch to the door to the outside but no latch on the inside?
Yeah.
That is not right. Something here is something that says, so basically what they're trying to do is keep whatever's in. The people that live there couldn't answer that question because they weren't the first owners of the house. They said, yeah, we saw that, but we couldn't figure that out. He said, why would you have a latch with a lock on the outside, but no way to get out from the inside? And they went to their room and said, well, when we moved in, there was a bed up there. They took it out. It was just like an empty room. And it smelled weird.
Huh.
So what we're thinking is that, well, the only way you would put a latch on the door and no latch on the inside is to keep whatever's in.
Yeah.
Like, from coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was all, because there was a doorway there. They put the panel over it. And then they went to the backside and drew the outlet of the door, and they just sawed it out, put a door there. They just cut part of the panel and made it a door. So you couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
If you took the latch off, you couldn't even tell. So we thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like you had like a secret compartment and put like a slave or some sort of weird whatever.
We've been to weird basements. Yeah, we've been, there was another one, Valentine Construction Company in Manteca. Ooh.
What happened there?
Valentine Construction is the guy that owns the company built Mimi's Cafe.
Uh-huh.
And the one that's always next to Mimi's. I can't remember the name of it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he built all the Mimi's Cafes. And a construction company backs up against railroad tracks. And he said, oh yeah, there's a memorial that they have on the tracks.
Yeah.
So that's because a 13-year-old boy committed suicide. He laid across the tracks and the train ran him over. Damn. So when they found him, he was like in pieces. So they put the memorial in, and he said, once in a while you'll see him. And then he pointed out, it's a huge property. So he pointed out to all the hot spots. So we set up cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a big investigation. We had like 4 different groups from all over, the local Sacramento, Marysville area, set up cameras at all these hot spots.
Yeah.
And the night that we were there, we didn't get much, but he has surveillance systems, and he showed us the surveillance systems. He said that at 3:05 every morning, shit happens. So he took us back there and said, my video is going 24/7, and I'll show you. I saved some of the ones. He said, look, and we're watching this. Oh, damn. Gonna be quiet. All of a sudden, 3:05, everything happens. 3:05 a.m. every morning.
And like something would just move?
Yeah,
or?
something moved, all kinds of stuff. We see entities running around.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, a lot of those workshops are massive, and at night when everybody goes home, it's like pitch black. So we had to turn lights on. So we go in there with flashlights set up. We had some night vision cameras we set up in there. Even on the outside by the train tracks, there's he would see people out there. I mean, he witnessed all this stuff because he was there 24/7.
Yeah.
So he witnessed a lot of things, and we documented a lot of things. We saw a couple of minor things, but nothing really big. Not like him because he's there. The only thing we saw the activity on was his surveillance system. He has it all on tape. That's how we saw it. So we've been up there like several times. I don't know whether he's still around, but he's like, yeah, I built Mimi's Cafe and the restaurant that's always next to Mimi's. I'm the guy. I built all the Mimi's. That's my company. He's got pictures. He has a photo of him where all the pictures of all the Mimi's from, like when they dug the foundation all the way to the complete from all over California where he was.
Yeah.
They did it. And I'll never forget that. But yeah, get on Maxim Mysteries on YouTube. There's a ton of shit on there. Some of it is minor and some of it's really scary. But yeah, all of it, we tell people to go there all the time if you want to see what we do. It's not like the TV stuff. We've been on those TV shows, but it's not like those TV things.
Right.
So.
This is just like you going out there with the camera and.
Yeah, we have.
Just documenting what you get.
We do like a pre-investigation. Melissa will go on camera to talk about what she feels when we first enter the home. And she'll say this and this and this and this and this, and the guy did that, fell off the stairs, thinking this and this, like that. And then I'm gonna take the cameras and walk through the hallways with our, with our, some of our machines, our instruments that we use. And go through there. We'll set up different things once we find where the hotspots are. Our last investigation, it was a 2-story house. It was a, I'm gonna say, where was it? Somewhere off of Watt Avenue, I think it was. It was a deputy sheriff and her partner. They both worked at the sheriff department. One was the deputy. The other one worked in the as a dispatcher. They both lived there. They sold the house recently, but they wanted to go in and clear the house for the next people coming in. Yeah. Because we had to do it that certain night because the next night, it was a Friday. The next day, Saturday, she had to turn the keys in. So we went in there and then. So we've been hearing, one of them had a little dog. We've been hearing knocking, and we didn't find anything, but we did pick up a lot though. Well, we didn't get anything on camera. We actually did use the SLS. We saw the stick figures, and then the deputy, she was filming it like this, and she was having a good old time. She's never experienced that before.
Ghosts and all that?
Yeah. She's heard about what I heard about what you guys do, but she was filming it like this, and because she wanted to show people. Yeah. Yeah, and then I was at the top of the stairs, and I put my hand on there, and I said, whoa, and Brent did say what? I think Brent mentioned that. What happened? I said, well, I just put my hand on the rail. I saw somebody go over the rail, whether they fell or pushed, I don't know. And then one of the ladies said that, yeah, there was an incident here where somebody did fall down the stairs.
And then they ended up dying from it, or?
Yeah, I think they did, but they didn't go on. They didn't go off the rail. They kind of like
tumbled down.
Tumbled down, but that's what I got. And I think Melissa put her hand on there too and felt the same thing. So.
Oh hell, dude, that's fucking. There's a bunch of it out there.
There's all kinds of places. We get so many places that they want us to come to. We're booked up to, even during the lockdown, we were booked up during the lockdown. And I think we're booked into 2025 now.
Yeah, I remember that's what you said. Like, you
Yeah.
had like a bunch still coming up.
Most of us are readings, a reading with a blessing. It's not, the last one was the sheriff's deputies, was a full-blown investigation. That was about a month ago, I think it was. Yeah.
And you said that was like an investigation and a blessing, or?
Yeah, there was activity in there, but before, when they wanted the house completely clean,
Yeah.
and no activity before, they completely left it so the next family could move in.
I get you.
They didn't want any activity. So, well, we convinced her. She goes, I knew there was something wrong here.
Now, how often, I know we've been doing this for a minute, so I'll probably let you go after this question, the next one whenever you're ready, but how often do you think whenever someone like feels that there's like, how often do you think that they're right, that there is something, that whenever they feel like there's something off? Like, do you ever think it's sometimes it's just their imagination, or are they usually right?
Sometimes most of the things we have, there are a lot of skeptics just gotta blow it off as something else.
Yeah.
You know, like a lamp in the house moving. Oh, the window's open. Air conditioner's on. And an air vent.
Yeah.
Like that. Things like that. I mean, I've been to places where the TV's turned off and they were unplugged. So, yeah, you can pretty much feel it. You can actually, well, you can feel it when you walk into the house and something is off.
Yeah.
When you walk into the house, or when you're just in the house and doing whatever you do in the house, something's off. You know, or you're doing something where I normally wouldn't be doing this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then when you walk out of the house, everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, if you live with somebody, the tension gets worse. You know, you can actually snap at them for doing a petty thing like, you know, doing this, and you get pissed off at them.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
things like that. Yeah, and that's you'll notice when your behavior starts to change. It's like, I'm not like this. Why am I doing this? And then the people you live with will notice the same thing. That's when you know. It takes a while for people to actually realize something's wrong. They don't think it's paranormal right off the bat. They think it's, you know, stress, work related. I'm not sleeping as much. I got a big contract at work I'm worried about. I can't sleep at night. You know, I got to pay for my kids' braces. I don't know where the money's coming from. Things like that. That's what they think it is at first.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps escalating.
Gotcha.
Well, then, yeah, you'll know right away when something is off. Some people know right away. I mean, you know, paranormal is the new normal now. You know, back about 20 years ago, if you said you had a ghost in the house, people thought you were crazy. But now, if you have a ghost in the house, paranormal investigators will be knocking on your door. I don't want to investigate. There are so many groups out there now. There is one group in Sacramento that charges. Don't go with them.
Oh, okay.
We don't charge. We don't ask for money. We take donations. Our donations pay for our travel expenses like gas and our equipment and food. But these guys just pay our investigators.
Yeah, they made it a whole business or whatever.
Yeah, they make it a business. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, you're taking advantage of people that actually need help. You know, and then Old Sac, Sacramento Paranormal does tours at Old Sac.
Oh, I think I've like heard some of their
Yeah, if you go to Evangelista, they got the posters stuck around the door. Yeah, I mean, one of the ghost hunters, Shannon McCabe, is one of the persons I started with. She does the Manpower Ball.
All right.
She's taken that tour before, and they have champagne at the end of it, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So we talked a lot of, since it's a small community of investigators, we kind of stick together. Some of them I don't really like. The people in there, because I don't know what the hell their agenda is, but they're not there to help people. They're there to like get on TV and have a regular TV show. We've been asked that. We've been asked why don't we do it on a TV show, and we have been asked that. But I said, well, that's really not what we do. We'll guest star. The things that I mean, Melissa and Brent have been on the Prodcast before.
Yeah.
I can't remember what station it was. The two of them will go on. Brandon and something. I can't remember what station, but they come on like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, but they've gone on there several times and they talk about it. It's like that. We'll do stuff like that, but us doing a TV series, it would be nice, but we don't have time. All of us have day jobs. So when are you gonna fill it in? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been brought up. People have come to us about starting their own TV series and like this, and then it's not what we do.
I follow.
Yeah.
Your route with it is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Your TV's more like, I'll do acting and everything, but
Yeah.
Ghosts is just all that.
Yeah. I've actually when was it My Ghost Story came to film us one time, and they wanted me to say, "Can you do like an investigation in the garage with your camera?" I said, "Do you want me to actually take pictures?" They go, "Yeah, can you?" So I went in and took pictures. I actually got a few things too in the garage in there, and then they had us. And then one thing they shot outside, they had us drive up in the car, and then they showed us getting out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Into the Further, Shauna's last movie, she used our whole team. Because she told me, said, "Well, you're gonna play a ghost hunter. So you think the rest of the team might want to do this?" I said, "Yeah, let me ask them." So the whole team, we are as ourselves.
Yeah, gotcha.
So we played ghost hunter. We actually even had our team shirts on and everything. So that was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Incorporating.
Yeah, if you're ever interested in a investigation, next time we do a scouting mission, I'll let you in.
Let me know. I wouldn't mind to bring the camera and have like a on the road podcast, so to speak.
That'll work.
Record it. But all right, man. Is there anything else you want to say, or you think you're all good?
Yeah, I think we're there. We can be here all night doing this.
Pretty much, yeah. I was just saying, like, I'll save that for another one.
Yeah, we can do another one sometime.
But yeah, no, I'd like to.
Now it took like about a year to get this one going.
Yeah, I know, right? It took some time. There's times I was moving, times I'd be in between doing something and just trying to schedule. But yeah, no, I knew it'd be good to talk about some of the acting and the ghost stuff, just everything that I'm interested in. So I know other people would be for sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh yeah. Thank you again, John.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
I look
you.
forward to the next one.